first inning against the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Cincinnati Reds. And we've got a long way to go in this one. Right now, they're a 12-1 favorite, minus 1,200 to win the baseball game, but they're leading Arizona 5-zip in the bottom half of the first inning, Will.
Yeah, I know we're running up against it here. I guess we'll talk about it when we come back. I'm curious your thoughts of those four teams that are potential sellers: Diamondbacks, Braves, Red Sox, Rangers, all disappointing. I'm curious if I told you right now one of them made the playoffs. I'm curious which one you'd pick. We'll tease it in the next.
We'll give you an answer. That's a tease. I love it, Will. There you go. We'll get into that next. He's Will Hill. I'm Mark Malusis. It's Live Bet Saturday right here on VSiN.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads. Great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage? Weird, but still a salad. One radish and a couple of green beans? Also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke? Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I gotta get business cards printed for my entire staff, but where do I even?
That was easy.
Oh, okay, Staples. But can I have bigger stuff printed too, like huge signs and banners?
That was easy.
Nice. And what if I had to ship a package?
That was easy.
Have my passport photo taken?
That was easy.
Coffee and snacks?
That was easy.
What about the latest laptops?
That was
Earbuds
easy.
and headphones?
That was
Office
easy.
chairs?
That was easy.
I think I also need to get some Staples.
Seriously?
I had to ask.
For everything your business needs to get...
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. You know Grainger offers professional-grade products for every industry, like voltage detectors, harnesses, and hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery. So he can rise to every challenge, just like you. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Experience the ultimate pool and watch party at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens, owner and chief executive officer of Circa Las Vegas, and I want to welcome you to Stadium Swim, your year-round destination for non-stop fun. With 3 levels, 6 pools, and a massive 143-foot screen, catch every game, every season. It's the place to be in Las Vegas. Soak up the sun and party all night, 365 days a year at Stadium Swim. Secure your spot now at CircaLasVegas.com.
Come on.
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Whoops. My bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit RTN.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
When the games are on, so is VSiN. With in-game betting insights you can actually use. We're live during the action for real-time breakdowns and the best opportunities to hit live bets on all major sports. Our exclusive betting splits update every 5 minutes, so you'll always know where the sharp money's going. And with the VSiN Watch app, you're never out of range with live analysis following you wherever you go. Ride the action in real time by making VSiN your second screen and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is Money Moves.
I just think the general thing for Philly is it's just a lot of changes, man. And I think there is a reality where this team should still be a playoff team, but I think we might be looking at them as the season develops and go, oh, like maybe the back end of that secondary can be had a little bit against some of the better teams. That is a loaded schedule as well. When you're talking about opponents, obviously you have the Chiefs, the Packers, we can go through all of them. This is going to be a loaded schedule with a team that I think you can make an argument there's a reality they're a little bit worse on defense.
Catch Money Moves every weekday at noon Eastern, right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This season, test your football smarts and play for millions. On the house, Winner's Circle Proxy is giving away a $1,000 entry for one Circa Survivor and one Circa Millions entry, including full proxy service. Winners get paired with a VSiN host for strategy help all season. Enter now for your chance to win. Just visit winnercircleproxy.com/VSiN. That's winnercircleproxy.com/VSIN. That's winnercircleproxy.com/VSiN.
Bet Saturday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
It is Live Bet Saturday. Mark Malusis and Will Hill alongside with you right here on VSiN. Mike Somich is going to join us next hour to preview the Belmont Stakes up at beautiful Saratoga. We'll update you on the latest and greatest with everything going on the Saturday action in Major League Baseball momentarily. But let's look ahead here, Will, to Game 2 of the NBA Finals tomorrow night out in Oklahoma City. The Indiana Pacers did it again, and maybe we shouldn't be surprised any longer. I mean, maybe these epic comebacks and coming back from, they did it against Milwaukee, they did it against Cleveland, they did it against the Knicks, and they did it Game 1 against the 68-win Oklahoma City Thunder, rallying from 15 points down. Halliburton with the game winner with 0.3 of a second left. The only time they led Game 1 was with 0.3 of a second left. Think about that. Let that marinate for a second. But, Will, you and I have been, following sports for a long, long time, and I know, like, Destiny's Darling, Magic Carpet Ride, all the sports cliches you get it. Sometimes it's just your year. And maybe, maybe we'll all realize it. Those that are back in Oklahoma City will realize it in a painful way in the end.
And we welcome you to St. Thomas Aquinas Stadium here, home of the Knights here in Louisville, Ohio. But today, it is the home of the Premier Amateur Football League, as Western Reserve Radio, as part of the iMedia One Network, is proud to bring to you Cleveland Cobras football as they make the short trip over to Stark County to take on the Ohio Broncos. Hello, everyone. Jim Craven with you, along with the coach, Bob Gessler, Matt Craven, Will Craven. It's a Craven event today here in Louisville as we get ready to bring you Week 2 of the Premier Amateur Football League. And both teams today looking to get into the win column as the Cleveland Cobras, they dropped their home opener last week on a last-second field goal by the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids, and they dropped that one 17-14. And for the Ohio Broncos, interesting situation for them. If you take a look at the PAFL website, you go to PAFLfootball.com, you'll see that the Ohio Broncos have a 1-0 record, although they lost to the Cleveland Rams last week. Both teams were supposed to have a forfeit due to some other teams' issues. However, both teams agreed to meet and play that game, but both were given a credit for a win. They are 1-0. Cleveland 0-1. They are 2-1 on the season as they played 2 out-of-league games, but they dropped their Week 1 game against the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids. Rapids over in North Jackson right now taking on the Youngstown Patricians. We'll try to get you an updated score on that one. Dave Ferris reporting in as Mark Means and Dave Clark bring you that game. And, Coach, for Week 2, we saw some things last week we thought we would expect in a Week 1 matchup. Some bad snaps, maybe a few penalties, things that you have to clean up a little bit, and they always say the biggest improvement is between Week 1 and Week 2. And for head coach Adam Rogerson, I think he's hoping for that.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100% as a coach, because that's exactly what as a coach you look at that happening. I mean, you try to cut it down as much as you can because you don't want to pin yourself, or on a drive you don't want to be moving back. But it's just kind of, we call it game time jitters, as we would say, and try to get your players pumped up, but don't use your head, listen what your calls are, listen to the counts, don't make dumb mistakes.
Cobras using a couple quarterbacks last week. It would be T.J. Johnson who would get the start, and then he would be relieved by James Cooney, who would come in later on, the new player for the Cobras out of Olmsted Falls High School. T.J. Johnson would move to running back, so they would take some personnel, move them around, and then later in the game, Dave Slap Thompson would come in and try to clean up a little bit, but they would come up just short as the Rapids would hit a 33-yard field goal with 2 seconds left to drop the Cobras to 0-1. Today, it looks like James Cooney will be getting the start for the Cleveland Cobras, and T.J. Johnson will be the running back. And, of course, they may switch around a little bit, both versatile players. And, Coach, at this level, and it looks like Cleveland traveling a little bit lighter today, but those are the type of players you need when you're on the road, although we're not too far from Cleveland.
No, we're just a hop skip. So I'm assuming, or I'm sure, that other players may show up. They may be working. They may have a little family duty, and maybe they'll show up. But their numbers really are not that bad out there. So we're just hoping that Cleveland can pull this one off.
Coach, we got a coin toss right now. Looks like the Broncos won, but deferred. So it looks like the Cobras will start this one off on offense. And offense doing a relatively good job last week. Again, killed their own drives sometimes their own worst enemy. Had a lot of yards, just couldn't convert on a lot of it, but 2 big touchdowns for the Cobras. And, again, special teams, kind of the Achilles heel last week. We see that a lot at this level. But from what we understand, there'll be a new long snapper, new holder this week, as well as maybe the use of a fullback on offense. Maybe Cleveland looking to keep on the ground a little bit more.
Well, you know how I feel about that. I love fullbacks and tight ends. I'll tell you what, there's a lot we could do when you're in the eye or you split backs out of the eye. And I'll tell you what, I love the offense, and there's so many things you can do with that. And that's why I like that offense. That just gives you an extra blocker, receiver, running. You can come around there in a slot position off the line and be surprised what these guys could do.
Yeah, we believe that Ambrose Picorni is going to fill that position there, the defensive tackle for the Cleveland Cobras. A big, versatile player, but again, a high motor and a good-sized player. So he may be useful at that fullback position. Maybe give T.J. Johnson some room to run, and certainly maybe add some protection in there for James Cooney, who is going to be getting his first start at quarterback for the Cleveland Cobras. Just a little over 8 minutes left here before kickoff. We're going to step aside for a timeout. When we come back, we'll talk about some uniforms, some weather, and maybe a few other miscellaneous things as we get ready. And actually, we'll talk about a little bit of special event that's going on at the half, too. So stick around here. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. We're back right after this.
So, are you enjoying our station? Well, now you can take us along on your mobile device wherever you go.
Wow!
The free Live 365 app is available for both Apple and Android devices.
That sounds like fun. I'll give it a try.
Just go to the Apple app or Google Play Store and download it today.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
From Washington. Laid off and trying to keep our little kids from realizing that mommy and daddy haven't eaten in a while.
Roger, from California. I'm grateful we could afford our son's surgery. I'm nervous that now we can't really afford food.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Donna from Louisiana. The storm just hit, and we went from donating to the food bank to needing it.
Keisha from South Carolina. I've been skipping meals so my 2 kids can eat, but filling up on water doesn't really work.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Catch all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on Western Reserve Radio. Follow the Cobras as they compete against teams from around the region in pursuit of a Tri-Point Football League championship. And if you're looking to continue your football career after high school, college, or even the pros, or to be part of the Cobras staff, go to clevelandcobrasfootball.com, Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football, or contact owner Jesse Caldwell at 330-416-3442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Western Reserve Radio is the Valley's online source for sports talk and local events. Tune in and be part of their live weekly shows, as well as the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey, high school football, and the PAFL. Find them on westernreserveradio.com, tune in, and the Live 365 app to be part of the area's conversation. Be sure to visit them on Facebook at Western Reserve Radio or on Twitter at WR_radio.
Nina's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
Timeout. All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Professional, fast, highly knowledgeable, easy to work with. These are real reviews by customers of Sandrock Concrete. For all your concrete block, brick, stone, stonework, and excavating needs, call Jerry Sandrock. For your free estimate at 330-506-0013. Sandrock Concrete is fully insured and ready to make your ideas a reality. Sandrock Concrete is a proud supporter and sponsor of Mahoning Valley High School football on Western Reserve Radio.
Someone's got to set the tone out there, boys. Someone's got to set it.
The station that sets the tone for Youngstown Phantoms hockey is Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
Pre-game continues here from St. Thomas Aquinas Stadium in Louisville, Ohio. Jim Craven with you, Coach Bob Gessler, Matt Craven, Will Craven, all high atop here above the press box here. And it looked like the weather is going to be great tonight. Just about 80 degrees right now. A little bit overcast skies, but they're saying that's more from the fires up in Canada coming across here than it is maybe cloud cover. But right now, no anticipated precipitation whatsoever as we get ready for kickoff. The Ohio Broncos, they'll be moving from left to right on your devices if you're listening on the Live 365 app or TuneIn, or if you're watching in on YouTube, you can catch the link over on any of our sites at Cleveland Cobras, iMedia One Network, and Western Reserve Digital Radio. Halftime, special moment coming up here as they will retire the number 4 jersey in honor of Rodrigo Stamps, former player for both teams who passed away suddenly. Very young gentleman there, so a guy we knew from around these parts for many years, actually, and I'm told his son will join us here for that at halftime. So a special moment coming up here as we have 15 minutes up on the board. Capacity crowd on hand for Week 2 of the PAFL. Over on Western Reserve Radio 2 with Mark Means, Dave Clark, Dave Ferris. The Youngstown Patricians, they have a 20-0 lead over the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids. That game being played at Jackson Milton High School, and a little bit of a surprise there, Coach, as Cuyahoga Falls Rapids looked really good last week. So did the Patricians. They get the win over the Mid-Ohio Patriots. But right now, at home, they are shutting out the Rapids by a score of 20-0.
Yeah, again, you don't know what their travel was like. We don't know if anybody got banged up from last week's game. So, hey, football's football. You want to play on a team, when the game is up, you go, you find the time, you put in the time. That's how you become a champion.
Yeah, one of the great things is trying to get that depth. You're going to get your opportunities, especially when you're on the road. As both teams get in line, a little bit of a delay here as the Cobras now will try to get their kickoff return team on the field as they'll make their way out.
Little quick note, Jim. I wasn't here last week. A little shout out to my daughter and my new son-in-law.
Yeah, we beat you to that already, so we're sorry.
You did? Well, that's good. Well, I really appreciate
Well, I think there was some concern when you weren't here, you know.
You wondered where I was
Was there controversy? Were you fired? I mean, there was...
In jail?
Yeah, hey, you never know. I mean... Yeah. Those weddings get out of hand sometimes.
No, that was good. We had a beautiful time. Everybody got along at... my daughter Amy and Lucas Carr, so it's Amy Carr now, and we're real proud and happy. And they're in her new daughter, Roxanne. So, little addition to my family. I'm pretty happy about that. Here we go.
Will Shropshire to kick off for the Ohio Broncos. It'll be Vincent Taylor and Tyree Knight back to return. Tyree Knight with some great returns last week. Set up the Cobra offense several times. Shropshire going to keep this one on the ground. They'll keep it away from the returners. Picked up at the 32-yard line, and they'll take a knee at the 38-yard line, and that's where Cleveland will take over. 1st and 10, first series of the game here on Week 2 of the PAFL season.
We have a flag down. It looked like offsides.
All right, well, that took one play.
And it looked like the Cobras were offsides. Yep, walking it off.
Interesting. I don't know how your kickoff team's offsides when you're going backwards.
I have
All right.
no idea.
Well, welcome to this level of football.
Yeah, that's a little. I'll have to say that as the special teams coach at Cheney, I don't think I ever saw that.
Maybe that wasn't the call. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Well, maybe they want a little bit more room to work. Who knows?
They're going to say it's encroachment, so the front line must have come out here. So Cleveland now will come out with Cooney at quarterback. TJ Johnson will be the tailback. They'll have a fullback to the right here. Try to get a number on this, see who that is. Twin receivers to the near side, single receiver to the far side. Handoff off the left side with some room to run and some contact made in the backfield. Might have made it. Now they're going to say actually a loss of 2 yards on that, so 2nd and 12 now for Cleveland. Thought he leaned far enough forward to get to the original line of scrimmage, but actually it'll be sent back to the 35-yard line. And now, 2nd and 12 now for the Cobras.
Yeah, number 33, Dan Dano. Man, I'll tell you what, he read that, saw the gap open up, and he was able to clock in and thought running back was going to break away, but he made the tackle in the backfield.
Cooney now in a pistol, have twin receivers to the near side. Boy, it's going to be Tyree Knight in motion from left to right. A little hard to read these numbers with the Cobra in there. They'll try the right side this time, drop their shoulder, and may have lost a yard on that one as well. Too much pressure up front. TJ Johnson on the carry.
Tavius Sanders in the backfield on that. They blitzed him. They blitzed again. Looked like maybe a corner blitz on that one, and he read it, and they forgot about him.
So 3rd and 14 for Cleveland. As we just get underway here, 13:42 left here in the first quarter if you're just joining us here on Western Reserve Radio. Twin receivers to each side now. Cooney in the shotgun. TJ Johnson to his left. Cobras moving right to left, and they're all white uniforms, black helmets. Broncos in their orange jerseys, blue pants, and blue helmets. Pass out to the near side, and it's going to be off the fingertips of Matt Wise, thrown behind the Cobra receiver. That's going to bring up 4th down for Cleveland, and not the result you wanted to see on your first series.
Yeah, LaMarcus Thomas, he was able to fight through the offensive line, and he had a little bit of heat on him, but the Cobras' offensive line has got to plant their feet. If it's a pass play, they got to dig back and sit down. They got to look at that speed of that defensive line of the Broncos, as well as linebackers blitzing.
Jeff Cooper Ryder to do the punting duties. The first-year Cobra out of Toledo University, doing a great job last week getting the ball away, changing sides of the field. As a matter of fact, Cobra stayed on the fall side of the field for most of the game, and this one's going to be blocked cleanly, and it's going to take a Cleveland bounce towards the 20 and out of bounds, and the Ohio Broncos will take over 1st and 10 at the Cobra 22-yard line. The Broncos come after it, and they get it.
Yeah, that was a great play. I did not see who got the block, but Carlos Alexander, number 21, was able to jump on it, and according to what we have, he played for Michigan State University. So that's a big-time school.
The Ohio Broncos now starting on the Cleveland side of the field. Great field position here. Broncos dropped their game last week to the Cleveland Rams. So a short field to work with for the home team. Marquello Sewell coming in at quarterback for the Ohio Broncos, the former Akron University Zip. Coach been around long enough that you coached against them. I played against him, and he's still going.
Some people just say, I could keep doing this. I could keep doing this. So God bless them.
Twin receivers to each side now for the Broncos. Marquello Sewell in the shotgun. He'll step up to the line, make some adjustments. 13-15 of the first quarter here. Raekwon Benson running back to the left. They'll give it to Benson. He'll work his way up front and pick up a couple of yards on the play. 2nd and 8 now for the Ohio Broncos.
Yeah, it was a good job by the linebackers coming up and filling. You just got to be a little bit quicker. So, I mean, they got 3 yards out of it. Come up and seal that.
Bronco receivers here to the near side, going to stay right on the line. Short huddle. Sewell now sending Tony Perrine to the far side. Twins to his left, twins to his right. He'll move Benson from his left hip to his right hip. Sewell pulling the ball, looking downfield, wide open area to run. Still looking downfield for somebody. He'll get past the 15-10 and out near the 6-yard line. And that'll be enough for an Ohio Bronco first down. It'll be 1st and goal for the home team.
Agent Burt, who's playing wide receiver on that, did an outstanding job. He saw his quarterback tucking, and he was able to seal his guy inside, and therefore he was able to get probably about another 5 or 6 yards on that run. So outstanding job by that wide receiver, knowing where his quarterback is on a scramble.
Agent Burt, the former Ohio Gladiator, now with the Ohio Broncos. Tony Perrine and Cornelius Strickland, twin receivers to the left of the Bronco quarterback. Strickland, longtime player in these parts as well. As Marquello Sewell waiting for the snap. Plants his feet, looking out to his left. Plenty of time, fires out into the corner. He's going to throw this one out of bounds. Nearest receiver to it was Agent Burt. And it'll bring up 2nd and goal now for the Broncos.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a That was basically a coverage throwaway because the defensive backs had a good view up here. They did an outstanding job covering their guys, and he had nowhere to go. He was looking to throw left, and that was covered. He went through his progressions, and by that time, that defensive line was on him, so he just threw it away. So it was a smart job by him.
Second and goal now, Sewell with Vincent to his right. 3 receivers to his left, single receiver to his right. Single receiver will be Burt. Sewell with the read, handoff to Vincent, under pressure, trying to cut back in, and Ambrose Picorni going to wrap him up. Also Nico St. Clair there as well. So a couple-yard loss for the Broncos. They'll be sent back to the 9-yard line. So 3rd and goal now from the 9 for the Broncos.
Yeah, he was trying to hit that basically wide off tackle, and they had not. The Cobras were right there on it. And I'll tell you what, great job by all 3. Looked like 3 guys on him, so they were able to bottle him in. He wanted to get outside, and the cutback lane was taken off him. Great job by the defense.
3rd and goal from the 9. Sewell in the shotgun. Vincent his right. Twin receivers to the right side. Burt on the very end. They'll send Townsend in motion from right to left. Back to pass. Stepping up in the pocket. Fired into the corner. And it's going to go over the head of the Bronco receiver. And I believe that was going to be Lamar Hill on defense, Coach. He got way up there. I don't know if he got a finger on it or not, but it ended up sailing out of bounds.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. He had really good coverage on him, and he was able to jump high enough where the quarterback was hoping that his receiver could climb the ladder and get it. But that was an outstanding job. I mean, he did a great job on that.
Lamar Hill playing that left cornerback. Plays a lot of man coverage. Sewell now into shotgun. Vincent his right. 2-by-2 receiver set. Back to pass. 3-step drop. Fires over the middle. And he's going to lead the receiver. And they were looking for a pass interference call. No call on it. And it's going to bring up a turnover on downs. So after a blocked punt, the Cobras defense stand stout, Coach, and get the ball back.
Yeah, if he would have looked... great job by the defense of Cleveland, but if he would have looked to the left, Cornelius Strickland Jr. was wide open in the corner. He wanted that slant instead of looking at that corner route, and unfortunately, that cost him a touchdown because he was wide open.
Cobra's first drive, 4 plays, -4 yards. Broncos, 6 plays, 13 yards, so both offenses starting off slow.
Oh, that's going to happen. You know, you played a chess game early, and now you're going to find your weaknesses or find, as we used to say, find the fish.
No, when you have a good punter like Cooper Ryder, that's a great asset unless it's getting blocked.
Yeah, they got to do a better job
giving the Broncos take that away.
A little bit more protection up front on that one. That was ugly.
High atop the press box here, so we have a flyover here, and looks like there's going to be a timeout. We'll step aside as well. 10:49 left here, first quarter. No score. You are listening to the PAFL on the iMedia One Network. We're back right after this.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodswimandtennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
Your home for PAFL football is the iMedia One Network. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
So after a turnover on downs, the Cobras get the ball 1st and 10 at their own 9-yard line. No score here. Over on Western Reserve Radio 2 with Mark Means, Dave Clark, Dave Ferris. The Youngstown Patricians, they lead the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids by a score of 20-7. Interesting game over there. Patricians looking for their second win in a row, as are the Rapids. Cooney now in the shotgun. Picorni going to be to his right. TJ Johnson to his left. Single receiver to each side. Cooney with the handoff to Johnson. He'll be hit and pushed back. Be a couple yard loss on the play. Actually, he'll push him all the way back to the 4. Second down now for Cleveland.
Reggie Rogers on that one. They have him listed as a DB, but I think he's up there at linebacker. Maybe change a little position for him.
Go back to the same formation now. Full back to the left of Cooney. Johnson to his right. Matt Wise will be the single receiver to the near side. Cooney will pull the ball, try to move upfield, make a few moves. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage near the 5. Actually, he'll say may picked up a yard on the play. Third down now, still playing from behind the sticks.
Yeah, that's not good, especially when you're buried in your own end zone. That's they have got to get some positive yards here, but the front defensive line for the Broncos are doing an outstanding job. I'll tell you what, they're plugging everything up. They're staying in their lanes, and they're squeezing it out a little bit, and the running backs are trying to attack off tackle, and it's just not doing them any good.
So twin receivers to the near side this time. Matt Wise will be the outside receiver. Back to pass is Cooney. Under pressure, trying to create some time, fires over the middle, across his body. It's going to be caught near the original line of scrimmage at the 9. They'll give him the 10. And that's going to bring on the punting team for the Cobras. Cleveland trying to change sides of the field on this one.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was a great job. He look. He found somebody, at least, they gave the punter a little bit more room there. So, snap is at the 10-yard line, so he'll be punting around the goal line.
They'd actually changed the protection up for Cleveland. The punt protection, anyway, up for Cleveland last week as they would bring in 2 more protectors. We'll see if they stick with that formation. So we'll see Malik Addy and Marvin Germany back there.
Yeah, that's the 3 in the backfield. They got to check inside, outside. There you go.
Cooper Ryder going to get this one away. Nice punt. It'll be fielded at the 45-yard line on the Broncos side. Brought into Cobras territory and brought down near the 36-yard line. Flag on the play. We'll see what that is, but a good punt and a similarly good return for the Ohio Broncos.
Yeah, but I've got to believe it's a push in the back. When it's down, it's behind the play. I'm going to assume that's it. Yep.
All right, so blocking the back, coming up against the Ohio Broncos. That'll push back the nice return. The Cobras get out from the shadow of their own end zone with 8:13 left here, first quarter, no score. And they're going to mark the ball at the Cleveland 46-yard line.
Give them a little breathing room now. Now just play some football. Got to get on the other side of that 50. Your offense has been put in a pickle coming out of their own end zone.
Nico St. Clair, Carr, Matt Federer, Deontay McDonald, the linebackers there for Cleveland. 3 receivers to the near side now, to the right of Sewell. Single receiver to the far side. Be one-on-one with Harris. Handoff up the middle. It may have picked up a yard on the play. Coming off the left side. Ambrose Picorni in there leading the charge. And he'll get some help from Joe Barrico. Excuse me, that's going to be Brandon Carman. It'll be 8, not 0.
Yes. Carman did a good job. I mean, he got there. Running back tried to pull out of that, and he just held on, waiting for his buddies to come over and clean house.
Brandon Carman, the first-year Cobra out of Massillon High School. Doesn't get much better than that, Coach, as far as coaching and experience.
Absolutely. Quality program up there.
They'll call it 2nd and 8 for the Broncos. Sewell in the shotgun. That's an offset to his left. In the backfield, 2 receivers to the left side. They'll hand it off. And he'll fight his way past the 40 down near the 38-yard line. Be a couple yards short of a first down, so 3rd and short now for the Broncos.
Yeah, Carman on again on that tackle. I got to believe we're going to call his name a couple of hundred times tonight. But those D-line, they have got to squeeze and not give them that alley. They cannot get double team and get washed out of there. You double team, and we always told our guys, drop in the hole so you don't give them that alley.
Townsend and Perrine, the receivers to the far side this time. Twin receivers to the near side. Broncos moving left to right on your live 365 devices. Hand off the right side this time. Pass the 35. It'll be enough for a first down. Down at the 31-yard line. Will Shropshire, the former Gladiator, on the run for the Broncos.
I'll tell you what, that was an outstanding job. It was, let me see here, Mr. Brandon Wallace. Well, I watched him come out. He turned his hip when he saw the running back coming at him and was able to seal a guy inside and gave him that outside off tackle, a little bit of, give him an alley. So outstanding job by the Broncos line.
Drewer at center leading that offensive line. Sewell and his shotgun. You know, Shropshire again to his left. Receivers 2 by 2. 6 minutes left here, first quarter, no score. Read option, pass over the middle. That's going to be complete at the 20-yard line. They'll rip at the ball, but we'll get a whistle. And it is enough for a first down for the Ohio Broncos. Strickland on the catch.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they were in there tugging away at the ball. There was about 3 of them, but they just couldn't dig it out of there. Safe pass. He sat down in the seam, and he was able to hit him.
A little bit of a delayed whistle there by the officials, I think, Coach. I mean, maybe reaching there for a little bit too long.
Yeah, they should have called that a little bit quicker. But the offensive line of the Broncos are doing an outstanding job. I tell you what, nobody was getting to the quarterback.
Strickland and Burt, the receivers to the right side. Shropshire will join them as well. Empty backfield. Shropshire moving right back to the backfield to the right of Sewell. Handoff straight up the middle, trying to get to the outside. He's going to be brought down at the 21-yard line. I believe that was Matt Federer on the tackle. Finding a lane and a good textbook tackle. Wrapped him up the waist and brought him down. Excuse me, that's going to be Robert Littlejohn. That'll be 12, not 22.
Yes, sir.
And we always talk about him in some facet.
I'll tell you what, he got there in a hurry because he looked like he was going to get some yardage there, and Littlejohn was able to just shut it down.
So second and about 9.5. We'll just call it 2nd and 9 for simple math. Actually, I think the down marker and the ball are at 2 different locations. The ball's at the 20, the down marker's at the 20.
He's right behind the official, though. I mean,
Okay. All right, close enough.
Yeah, we can't tell with our angle.
And I believe the Ohio Broncos are going to take a timeout. They were having some issues, some personnel issues, so they're going to have to burn a timeout. 4:07 left here, first quarter. No score. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio. We're back on the other side of this break.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
4:07 left here, first quarter. Broncos having to take a timeout. Second down for the home team. Had some personnel issues. May have had too many people on the field. I'm not sure. I know that Lamar Hill was trying to call for a flag. That'll be Lynn Townsend, the single receiver to the far side. 3 receivers to the near side. Asian Bird will be on the outside. Cornelius Strickland in the middle. Back to pass is Sewell looking downfield. Precording putting pressure on him, and it's caught into the end zone for a touchdown. 20-yard touchdown delivered to Tony Perrine, and the Broncos take a 6-0 lead with 4:02 left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, he was running, looked like a post pattern, and he just kept going outside. Got away from his man, and he was able to hit him for a touchdown. That was a good job. But Cleveland has got to stick tighter to their men. They can't take that. They've got to either jam them quick or they got to be on their hip pocket looking for the ball.
Yeah, and the Cleveland Cobras have not been on the Ohio Broncos side of the field as yet. As they'll come in for the extra point, Will Shropshire to kick this one. Tony Perrine to hold. So he'll score the touchdown and have to do the holding duties. Snap is back, kick is up, and it is good. 4:02 left here, first quarter. The Ohio Broncos, they strike first. They take the 7-0 lead. We'll step aside for a timeout. You were listening to PAFL football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. We're back right after this.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodswimandtennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
The stations that are always ahead of the game. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast. Youngstown, Ohio.
4:02 left here, first quarter. Broncos take a 7-0 lead on a 20-yard pass from Marquello Sewell to Tony Perrine. And Cobras searching to at least get on that side of the 50-yard line, Coach. They've had their backs to their own end zone for most of the game.
Yeah, they've got to get a good return here. They have got to get into the Broncos territory one of these times. Offense has been a little sluggish, but sometimes that happens. But, by now you should be able to, with coaching staff and everything, find the soft spots, get some plays called here because they have got to move the ball.
So Will Shropshire to kick this one off. Tyrene to our near side. Vincent Taylor to the far side. They're going to kick this one, keep it on the ground, picked up at the 38-yard line. Flag on the play. And it's going to be brought out of bounds near the 47-yard line. Angelo Thompson going to recover that. And Coach, smart here that they're trying to keep that away from Tyree Knight. And so far, the Cobras haven't been able to move the ball, so they're willing to give up the field advantage.
How is it they did it again? It's offsides.
Okay, I saw the flag on the play, but
they keep saying Cleveland's offsides. I don't understand. Is it lining up?
Or are they coming forward on the... I didn't notice that they were coming forward as the ball was kicked.
Well, if the ball is being kicked, once it's kicked, unless they're leaving early, it's making... I don't think I've ever seen this.
Well, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Interesting call here with 3:58 left here, first quarter.
First of all, they got to be lining up a foot behind the 50.
All right, so the official's now going to let them know that, I would believe.
Yeah, see, they're right up on the line. They should be back at least a yard or two.
So Shropshire going to do this one again. Knight and Taylor back to return. This time, going to be kicked deep. Over to Taylor. Taylor bobbling this one. He'll pick it up at the 2-yard line. Out to the 10, 15. Taking it out the far sideline. And he'll be brought down near the 25-yard line. Maybe the 26, as we're going to get a flag as well.
I think we got a hold over there. I saw some grabbing, so we'll see.
Typically the call there, indeed, the preliminary call is going to be the hold against the Cleveland Cobras. That'll bring back the nice return by Taylor. And that will set the Cobras back up deep in their own side of the field again.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Jim.
3:50 left here, first quarter. By last check, the Youngstown Patricians had a 20-7 lead over the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids. Over in Jackson Township, Mark Means, Dave Clark, Dave Ferris on the call with that one.
I was just going to say to Cleveland, just got to settle down. They're a little jittery here. They just got to play their game. Don't force anything. Obviously, they're having a hard time running. Maybe they need to hit some stuff on the outside, go out a little bit wider.
Coney in the shotgun. Johnson his right, 3 receivers to the near side. Cobras moving from right to left. D'Angelo Thompson in there as well. We're going to flag on the play. It's going to be a quick pass out to Tyree Knight, I believe, but
offsides on the Broncos.
So Cleveland going to get a free 5 yards. So 1st and 5. Playbook opens up a little bit nicer when you have a 1st and 5.
Yeah, really. Instead of a 2nd and 10, that makes it easier.
3 receivers to this side now, including Matt Wise, Angelo Thompson, Tyree Knight, single receiver to the far side. Cooney in the shotgun, Johnson to his right. Cooney making the adjustments. Back to pass, 3-step drop. Fires downfield, has a man wide open, and that looks like Devin Tufts is going to catch that one on the Ohio Broncos side of the field. He'll go out of bounds near the 48-yard line, and the Cobras get their first down of the game.
Yeah, it looked like DeMonte Powell was on the coverage, and woo, I'll tell you what, he ran right past him. Great throw if he was able to keep feet. They're lining up quick.
Same formation. They'll go 3 receivers to the near side. Hurry up offense. Hand this one off to Johnson. Johnson upfield, pass at 50. He'll pick up a couple yards. Brought down near the 46-yard line. 2nd and 8 now for the Cleveland Cobras after that big play from Cooney to Tufts.
Yeah, that's a good job. So we got a yard on that, but that's all right. Now you just got to keep the offense going.
Devin Tufts, the first-year Cobra out of Nordonia High School. And he's done a good job, Coach, this year. I mean, it's for his first year, he's made himself known.
Macedonia, Nardonia.
A lot of onions there.
Put sauce on it, and they'll probably call it spaghetti.
Wise, Thompson, and Knight. 3 receivers to the near side. Cooney back in the shotgun. Johnson to his right. Tufts, the receiver, to the far side. 2nd and 9 for Cleveland. Some movement up front. Thought there was going to be a flag. Quick pass out. Knight on the catch. He'll try to get his feet, gather his feet up, and he'll get out near the 45-yard line. Maybe picked up a yard on the play. It'll be 3rd and 7 now for the Cobras.
Okay, they have got to keep the ball moving, and they have got to get some yardage here. They have not offensively, other than that big play. I mean, they really have got nothing. So, very staunch defense for the Broncos. They do a great job up front. Now, I'll tell you what, that front four gets it.
So Cooney back in the shotgun. Johnson to his left this time. 3 receivers to the near side. Knight going to go in motion from left to right. Cooney back to pass, looking out to his right, fires, and almost picked off. DeMonte Powell had big eyes there, and he had nothing but green in front of him.
Well, the only issue I have with that, Jim, is that's a great play if you're throwing from the center of the field. You can get it there quicker. He threw that from the left hash. That's towards us, towards the home side, and he threw that all the way across the field, and that ball hangs. I hate to say you're not Tom Brady on that throw. That thing kind of took a while to get there, and that DB just broke on it, and that should have been a pick 6. That hung.
4th down now for Cleveland. Jeff Cooper Ryder coming on to do the punting duties. Littlejohn, Germany. Trying to get the other number. It'll be the protectors for Cooper Ryder. 1:06 left here, first quarter. Broncos with a 7-0 lead. Cooper Ryder going to get this one away. It'll sail inside at the 10. It'll take an Ohio Bronco bounce. And they'll down this one at the 15-yard line. That's where Ohio will take over with 1:06 left here, Coach. And finally, the Cobras flipped the side of the field. Took some time, but nonetheless give their defense a little bit more room to work.
Yeah, they needed that after that big play. I mean, it did stall for them, but again, that's the adjustments the Broncos made. But, Cleveland has got to start mixing it up a little bit more. Maybe it's not such long passes. It's just, again, that was a long throw that should have been picked. It was right in his hands. So Cooney's just got to he's just got to relax out there and maybe change up plays and get some shorter throws in.
Under a minute to play here, first quarter. First and 10 for the Ohio Broncos at their own 15-yard line. Sibley now will be the single receiver to the far side. 3 receivers to the near side. Sewell in the shotgun. 1 running back offset to his left. He'll hand it off there, get tripped up, and he'll fall forward for a couple of yards. It'll be second down now, probably about 2nd and 6. I'm actually going to say maybe a whole 5 yards on that one for the Ohio Broncos. Clock continues to run as we round out this first frame. And we're going to have a player down here. The clock will stop with 33 seconds. Training staff coming out here. I believe it's going to be Ambrose Picorni shaking up a little bit. He'll head to the sideline. He'll work out on his own accord.
He's hanging that right arm a little bit. Maybe he got a little stinger there.
Well, second down now for the Broncos. And I believe the Broncos almost using this as a timeout. Finally, we'll get the whistle for play. Clock stop with 33 seconds. Should start on the official's call, and there it is.
They're winding.
So just under a half a minute to play here, first quarter. Twin receivers to each side this time. Venson at running back. He'll be to the right of Marquello Sewell. 12 seconds left in the quarter. Sewell with the handoff. Venson upfield. He'll have enough for a first down to be brought down at the 31-yard line, and that will round out the first quarter here from St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Stark County. After 1, it's the Ohio Broncos 7, the Cleveland Cobras nothing. We'll step aside for a timeout. You're listening to the PAFL on Western Reserve Radio. We're back right after this.
So, are you enjoying our station? Well, now you can take us along on your mobile device wherever you go.
Wow!
The free Live 365 app is available for both Apple and Android devices.
That sounds like fun. I'll give it a try.
Just go to the Apple app or Google Play Store and download it today.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world. Youngstown, Warren, and Salem's local and national sports talk can be found on TuneIn and the Live 365 app at Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
We'll flip sides of the field. A new fresh 15 up on the board. They'll mark the ball at the 31-yard line on the right side of the field. Right side to us anyway. So far, the Cobras looking for an answer. Can't really find that spark here in that first quarter. They'll try to recover it in the second. They trail the Ohio Broncos 7-0. Cobras will head to InfoCision Stadium next week on the campus of Akron University to take on the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids. A rematch from week 1. And the Cobras dropping that one in the last 2 seconds on a 33-yard field goal. As Sewell now in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his right. And we're going to get some movement up front. Flag on the play, but they're going to let the play go. They're going to call it a free play. And it's going to be picked off, but DeAndre Black with the interception. However, it was a free play. That one will come back. Going to be first and 5 for the Ohio Broncos.
Yeah, that was just that was a free play, and he knew it, and he just hung it up there. So no harm, no foul. If his receiver comes down with it, okay. If not, doesn't matter. They get 5 yards on it anyway. Smart play.
So Broncos will have a first and 5 of their own now. Ball at the 36-yard line. Cobras trailing 7-0. 14:44 left here, second quarter. Asienbert, the single receiver to this side. He'll be joined by Strickland now. DeAndre Black on the coverage to the outside. Handoff up the middle. And will be brought down after a couple of yard pickup. call it 2nd and 4 now for the Ohio Broncos. And that's going to be Raquan Venson on the carry.
Bocconi looked like, is that how you pronounce that, Jim? He was on the ground holding on to his ankles.
So 2nd and 4 now for the Ohio Broncos. 13:56 here. The clock continues to run here, second quarter. Apparently an error rate incoming.
Oh, my Lord.
Some kind of siren in the back. Marquello Sewell, the receivers 2x2. Venson behind him. They'll give it to Venson. Nowhere to go. It'll be brought down. They're going to flag on the play, and it's going to be a face mask. I think Robert Littlejohn or Carmen got a little bit of that face mask. That's going to be an additional 15 for the Ohio Broncos.
Yeah, and that's tough because, you have a hold of them and you're reaching, and sometimes them fingers, they get caught in that face mask. And when you pull them down by that's personal foul. So Cleveland's got to pick it up. They look a little flat today. I'm sure that they just got to get something going here.
Yeah, not a situation where you can give up 15 yards free.
No.
And now the Broncos will have the ball 1st and 10 at the Cobra 49-yard line. 13:08 left here, second quarter. Twin receivers to each side. Strickland and Burt will stack on the near side. Sewell with the handoff. They'll get the ball out to the 46-yard line. Pick up a 3, 2nd and 7 now for the Broncos.
Well, I'll tell you what, the thing with Cleveland is, and I've noticed this on the last few plays, I've been kind of watching, see what they're doing. They're tackling, they hit them the first time, but they're not wrapping them up, and they're going to the ground. And the running backs for the Broncos are able to run out of it, and it's not second time. So we got a timeout on the field with Cleveland Cobras.
12:36 left here in the second quarter. Cleveland takes a timeout. We'll step aside for a break. You're listening to PAFL Football here on the iMedia One Network. We're back after this.
Here's a fun fact for you. The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it, unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
The stations that are always ahead of the game. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast. Youngstown, Ohio.
12:36 left here, second quarter, coming out of the Cleveland timeout. 2nd and 7 for the Broncos. Ball at the Cobra 46-yard line. Both teams looking to bounce back after their losses last week. Next week we will be at InfoCision Stadium in Akron. As Burt and Strickland will be the receivers to the near side. Sibley to the far side. I believe that's going to be D'Angelo James on the other one. Hand off to Venson. Venson upfield. He'll make his way out to the 35-yard line. That'll be enough for an Ohio Bronco first down. And the Ohio Broncos gashing the middle of that Cleveland defense.
Well, the reason why, Jim, is they only had 10 players out there. Somebody forgot after the timeout to come out, and there was no linebackers on the left side, and, I mean, it was wide open.
Broncos right back to the line. Receivers 2x2. Venson in the backfield. Sewell in the shotgun. Sewell on the read, rolling to the near side. Chased down by Robert Littlejohn. Isn't going to get him. He'll get out of bounds near the 30-yard line. We'll see where he went out at. It's right in that area, the 29 or 30-yard line. They'll say it's the 30-yard line. So pick up a 5 for the Broncos. But, Coach, as I'm told here, 35 yards in penalties for the Cobras so far, and that's not something they can afford to give up.
Well, not only that, their defensive line is getting stalled by the offensive line of the Broncos. They have not got in that backfield. That front three is just they're not good coming off the ball. Of course, they're getting outweighed by, looks like, maybe about 40, 50 pounds. So Makes a difference.
Sewell with the receivers 2 by 2. Benson in the backfield with them. 11:26 left in the half. Pass over the middle. That's going to be caught inside the 20, down at the 19-yard line. So he'll give him the 18. That's a first down for the Broncos.
Simple slant. Quarterback got the ball. 1-2. Quick slant coming across the middle. The coverage was good. He just was a good throw and threw it where he needed to be.
A very accurate quarterback.
Yeah, and he beat the corner to the inside. So I mean that was right there. That was a good football play. Looked real good. I like your draw it.
So in the shotgun. Benson on the run. He'll be pulled down from behind after a couple-yard pickup. Robert Littlejohn leading the charge on that. They'll mark him down at the 15-yard line. 2nd and 8 now for the Broncos.
Yeah, it looks like they're looping Littlejohn around. They're trying to get him finding a place so he could get in. So they've done a great job as far as that. Littlejohn's been finding those creases and be able to get them down. But, I mean, you 3-yard gain on first down, maybe 4. That's pretty good.
2nd down, ball at the 15 now. Townsend and Sibley, the receivers to the far side. Sewell with the read, pump fake down in the corner, has a wide open receiver, that's going to be caught for a touchdown. 15-yard touchdown for the Ohio Broncos. I think that's Savion Sibley for the Ohio Broncos. I'm not correct on that. Let me take a look. That was Lynn Townsend, for the Ohio Broncos. So 13-0 is the score in favor of the home team pending the extra point.
I don't know what looked like the safety. I don't know if he was looking in the backfield, but, I mean, that safety should have jumped that, and he just didn't see him, and he got behind him, and he tried to make up ground, and there was just no way he was going to make up that kind of ground.
Quello Sewell with his 2nd touchdown pass of the day. First one going to Perrine, 2nd one to Townsend. Snap is back. Shropshire with the kick, and it is good. 10:01 left here in the half. The Ohio Broncos extend their lead to 14-0. We'll step aside for a timeout. You are listening to PFL Football here on Western Reserve Radio. We're back after this.
Nina's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
Your home for PAFL football is the iMedia One Network. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
.01 left here, 2nd quarter. The Ohio Broncos cap off a 9-play, 85-yard drive with a 15-yard touchdown pass to Lynn Townsend. And the Broncos now with 66 yards in penalty, 35 yards, in penalty yards.
Which is not good in the first quarter and a half.
Well, Shropshire on to kick this one off. On what's turning out to be a pretty good afternoon here, weather-wise. A little bit overcast, guys.
Cool, a little bit of breeze.
High kick, end over end. Picked up at the 24-yard line. And he's saying there was a fair catch call on it. I don't know if I saw that. I think he was waving everybody else out of the way.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Jim. I did not see a fair catch, but apparently the official did see something.
And I'm not really sure. We have 2 13s on here. Wasn't sure if that was Reggie Ross or Tay Swain. But either way, COBRAS looking to put something together here with 9:53 left in the 2nd quarter.
They got to put a drive together here before you got 9:53. They have got to do a better job getting downfield, moving the ball. and be and do a good job up front, too, blocking is what I want to say.
So 1st and 10 for the Cleveland Cobras. Ball at their own 30-yard line. 9:53 left, second quarter. Cobras trail 14-0. Last we heard over on Western Reserve Radio 2 with Mark Means, Dave Clark, Dave Ferris. Youngstown Patricians with a 20-7 lead over the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids. As TJ Johnson now will be a quarterback for the Cobras. 3 receivers to the far side. Oh, excuse me, that's going to be a C.J. Hale with a pass to Johnson. Johnson upfield, out to the 50, and knocked out of bounds near the 46-yard line on the Ohio Broncos side. And C.J. Hale out of Euclid High School replaces James Cooney at the quarterback position. Well, just a quick pass over the head there, Coach.
Yeah, that's all it was. He trickled out into the flat, and he found him, and he dumped it in there. So that was a pretty good job. Great yardage, again, on first down, getting it over into Bronco territory. They need this.
So Hale in the shotgun now, taking over at quarterback. Receivers, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. TJ Johnson helping out the first-year Cleveland Cobra. Hale going to step up to the line. Have to watch that back, judge, for the time. 10 seconds left on the play clock. As Hale now waiting for the snap.
Oh, that's offside.
Snaps a ball. Hale, quick pass out to the far side. It's going to be complete.
That's okay.
And I believe that might be Marvin Germany on the catch.
We got the flag for offsides on the far side, Jim, so kept the play going. A little short, but they're going to get a first down, or should be 1st and 5. That's a flag.
So we'll see. I assume they're going to want to walk this up and make it 1st and 5 instead of 2nd and 7.
Absolutely.
A referee going to check with the Cobra sideline. Adam Rogerson out there letting them know for sure.
You got to take the penalty.
And I'm not. So encroachment, they'll mark it from the original line of scrimmage.
Right.
They'll head out to the 40-yard line. It'll be 1st and 5.
Correct.
For the Cleveland Cobras, best offensive play of the day for Cleveland. And after a little bit of confusion on the math, even a little laugh by the head linesman to our side.
Yep.
He said, we'll get it right.
That's
and they
all
did.
Right. It's left foot, right foot. They talked about it.
Hale in the shotgun, single receiver to the near side. Johnson in the backfield. Back to pass. Stepping up, fires downfield, has a receiver wide open, overthrows him. And we have a flag back at the line of scrimmage. Personal foul against the Ohio Broncos. We didn't see it. We were watching the ball downfield.
Got to be roughing. They're pointing at Robert Bailey. He's out there going, it wasn't me. I swear it wasn't me.
Matt Wise was the intended receiver, had the defender beat. Pass overthrown. Good arm strength by C.J. Hale, but opportunity missed by Cleveland. However, their best drive of the day here so far.
Sure.
As they'll have the ball 1st and 10 at the Bronco 25-yard line. 7:47 left here, second quarter. Cobras trail by a score of 14-7.
I just want to say, Jim, that was a 50-yard pass. He threw that from the 50 and it went into the end zone. So that's a pretty good hike there.
Good arm strength. Picks up at least 15 on it. As Hale now in the shotgun. Again, single receiver to the near side. Same formation. Johnson remains in the backfield at running back. 3-step drop. Fires out to his right. Looking for a wide open receiver. Has him and overthrows him. I believe that was Devin Tufts, the single receiver to our side, but you see some opportunity there, Coach.
You ain't kidding. That's the second time the DB got beat by at least 2-3 yards, and boy, if he could drop it in there, he's throwing. And the first one was probably 5-6 yards overthrown. That one was probably about 2-3 yards, just beyond his fingertips, maybe by a foot. But man, he hits that. That changes the. That changes the game a lot.
Maybe that a little bit of adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
He'll have to work his way out of that because that's showing off some arm strength. Again, they'll go 3 receivers on the far side. Devin Tufts to the near side. Tufts now with the outside there. Corner working to the inside. Back to pass is Hale. Fires out to the sideline, and I think there was some miscommunication. Pass intended for Tyree Knight. But we'll bring up third down now for Cleveland with 7:39 left here in the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, they had him, too. He was there. I'm thinking that he probably should have, it was more of a dig route to the outside, and he should have sat down. And he kept going. It looked like that's what it should have been because he threw behind him.
7:39 left here. Clock stopped after the incomplete pass. Ball marked at the 25-yard line, 3rd and 10. And the Broncos will take a timeout with 7:39 left here, second quarter. We will take a timeout as well. You are listening to PAFL Football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. We're back right after this.
So, are you enjoying our station? Well, now you can take us along on your mobile device wherever you go. Wow! The free Live 365 app is available for both Apple and Android devices.
That sounds like fun. I'll give it a try.
Just go to the Apple app or Google Play Store and download it today.
You're listening to WRDP, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
This is number 56, Antoine Peterson, known as Tony Sweets. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football on iMedia One Network.
$7:39 left here in the second quarter. Broncos taking a timeout. 3rd and 10 for Cleveland. Script flipping a little bit here, including my speech. As the Broncos, they have 20 yards in penalties just on this drive. So Cleveland trying to take advantage of that. C.J. Hale in for relief at the quarterback position. Back to pass, stepping up in the pocket, has room to run, looking downfield though, directing traffic, caught!
That's it.
At the 8-yard line, fighting his way inside the 5, and it's going to be pushed. What are they going to give
Touchdown.
it to him? And are they going to say touchdown? Touchdown indeed! As the helmet comes off. Trying to get the number on that one as there was a horde of people there.
Broncos were holding him back, and all of a sudden Cobras come out of the woodwork and got him shoved over. Again, they talk about the tush push. So, holy moly.
A 25-yard touchdown pass by C.J. Hale coming in relief at quarterback. And I think it was number 8 again. It's hard to see these numbers. 6. Okay, so we got a 6, not an 8.
Yeah.
There's actually a decal on the back of there, and that's D'Angelo Thompson.
Yeah.
So, D, we sorry about that. It's just hard to see those numbers.
Yeah, they have a big cobra, a big C for a cobra on the back, and should have been in the front because we can't read a number.
So, C.J. Hill in the hold for Cooper Ryder. He'll kick this one up. We'll get a flag. The extra point is good. And a false start or an illegal procedure coming up against the Ohio Broncos. We'll see if they're going to take it. They'll decline the penalty. Yeah. So with 7:25 left here in the first half, Broncos cut the lead. Or excuse me, the Cobras cut the Broncos lead. There we go. To a score of 14-7, and that's exactly what Cleveland need. They're getting a little bit spark from C.J. Hill at quarterback.
They declined it at first, but now they're bringing them back out.
So, Coach, maybe they want to go for 2.
No. It was against Cleveland, so they're backing them up.
Okay, so they pointed both ways at one point.
The official on this side, the line judge down on this side showed procedure, Cobras.
Okay, but he pointed to the defense.
Well.
All right, so we're going to try this again. Jeff Cooper Ryder going to come in for the extra point. Still a very makeable field goal. His coach will tell you his love for kickers.
Absolutely.
Jeff Cooper Ryder, the punter out of Toledo University. Snap is back, kick is up. And once again, it is good. This time, with 7:25 left in the second quarter, the Cobras cut the lead of the Broncos to 14-7. We'll step aside for a timeout. You are listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on the iMedia One Network. We're back after this.
Catch all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on Western Reserve Radio. Follow the Cobras as they compete against teams from around the region in pursuit of a Tri-Point Football League championship. And if you're looking to continue your football career after high school, college, or even the pros, or to be part of the Cobras staff, go to clevelandcobrasfootball.com, Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football, or contact owner Jesse Caldwell at 330-416-3442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football.
Cobras with a 6-play, 70-yard drive, 7:25 left in the second quarter. Cobras get in the end zone on a 25-yard touchdown pass from CJ Hale to D'Angelo Thompson. The quarterback coming in from Euclid High School. Gives him a little bit of spark, coach, and maybe just a little tweak sometimes helps.
Yeah, and you know what? And I've seen it over the years where, you just got to get somebody in there. He's off, throw another quarterback in there. He can get it done. He's been out there working hard, and it just clicks. It just happens. That's all. And the young kid, he's going to do a good job. I'm telling you right now, you read about him. Cooney will do a good job for Cleveland in the future.
He's also a wide receiver, so multiple abilities for him as Cooper Ryder will send this one all the way back to the 10-yard line, picked up by the Broncos, brought out to the 15 with some room to run. Out past the 20, 25, and brought down at the 40-yard line. And that's where the Broncos will start off their drive. 1st and 10 with 7:17 left here in the first half.
Yeah, that was a good return. I'll tell you what, his blockers on this side, they formed a bit of a wall around the 25, 30-yard line. He got behind them, and they did a great job. Now we'll see. We got to hope that Cleveland's defense steps up and gets the job done here.
See if they pick up a little bit of a spark from the offense. 6 plays, 70 yards for the Cleveland Cobras, 20 yards in penalties against the Ohio Broncos. So role reversal here as Cleveland started out with 35 yards in penalties. The Broncos now with 20.
Yeah.
Actually 40 now for Cleveland at 5 on the extra point. Added in is Danny Skalecki now the receiver to the far side, the longtime veteran at this level. Shropshire at the running back position. 2 receivers to each side. Quick pass out to the far side. Caught by Sewell. Sewell on the double pass. Caught by Skalecki. Skalecki down past the 30. Brought down near the 28 or 27-yard line. It's a first down for the Ohio Broncos. You almost had to see that coming as Reggie Rogers was at the quarterback position. Looked a little odd.
Yeah, Lamar Hill did a great job making up some ground and be able to make that tackle, too. That should have gone for a touchdown. So great job on his part. Able to check it out, and the ball was in the air. He turned, and he got out of there. So here we go.
So we'll back at quarterback now. 2 receivers to each side. One running back to his right. That'll be Shropshire. He'll move out to the left side. Empty backfield now for Sewell. He'll plant his feet, looking out to his left. Trying to work upfield, has some room out to the right, some room to run. He'll be brought down near the 20-yard line. Pick up a 5, 2nd and 5 now for the Ohio Broncos. Last we heard now, 8 minutes left in the third quarter. The Cuyahoga Falls Rapids trying to make a comeback here. They trail the Youngstown Patricians by a score of 20-14, so a good one going on over there.
That's a good one. Absolutely. By the way, that was a nice job by Cleveland's defensive backs, giving him nothing, nowhere to go with the ball.
Twin receivers to each side. Sewell waiting for the snap. 5:41 left in the half. They'll hand this one up upfield.
Woof.
And a little bit of slippage there. Pick up maybe a yard, maybe a half a yard, as Will Shropshire will slide on that turf. We walked on that turf earlier, coming across back and forth, and we thought it was a little bit questionable. It's a little bit of an older turf.
Yeah, this is the old. It's not quite the YSU turf, but it's the older turf.
The outdoor carpeting on cement.
Yeah, the outdoor carpeting on cement, painted cement. But this is the old one, and it crunches down. There's not too much rubber in there.
Shropshire to the right of Sewell in the shotgun. Receivers 2 by 2, 5:06 left in the half. Sewell In the shotgun. Back to pass, firing it downfield, has a receiver open, that's caught in the end zone for a touchdown. Tony Perrine on the reception. 20-yard touchdown pass from Sewell to Perrine. Gives the Broncos a 20-7 lead with 4:59 left here in the second quarter.
Yeah, Lamar Hill right off the line. He was there, but unfortunately the speed, he just drew away from him. Great throw, and the ball was right there, and he just outran him.
Shropshire on for the extra point. Perrine with his second touchdown, a second 20-yard touchdown of the day from Marquello Sewell. Third touchdown of the day for Sewell through the air. Long way to go in this one. 4:59 left, second quarter. Broncos will get the ball to start off the second half. Shropshire with the kick, and it is good. 4:59 left here, first half. The Ohio Broncos take a 21-7 lead. We'll step aside for a timeout. You are listening to PAFL football here on the iMedia One Network. We are back on the other side of this break.
Accidents happen. That's why you need Repair That Glass. Specializing in windshield replacement and all other auto glass, we offer a full range of automotive glass repairs. Our technicians can do everything from minor chip repair to a complete replacement. Your windows don't go up or down, they can fix that too, along with custom glass work and antiques. Repair That Glass is a family-run business for over 40 years. Repair That Glass. Call for your appointment now at 330-534-3192.
Someone's got to set the tone out there, boys. Someone's got to set it.
The station that sets the tone for Youngstown Phantoms hockey is Western Reserve Radio. WRTV, The Scourge.
A four-play drive, 60 yards for the Ohio Broncos, capped off by a 20-yard touchdown pass from Sewell to Perrine to give the Broncos a 21-7 lead. They'll kick this one off with 4:59 left. Again, the Broncos will get the ball in the second half. And if Cleveland can't put something together again, that will be a great advantage for the home team to be able to get that first drive, third quarter.
Yeah, they're going to have to just tighten it up a little bit. Now, they had a good drive when they were on offense. Just get down, do what you got to do, and do it right. That's all. Got to get some points.
Shropshire to do the kicking duties. A former Ohio Gladiator. Keep this one on the ground. Picked up at the 40-yard line. Taking it to the far side, trying to find some room to run. Trying to turn the corner, and he'll be pushed out of bounds near the 44-yard line. That's where the Cobras will take over first and 10 with 4:52 left. And Broncos obviously doing some scouting, trying to keep the ball away from Tyree Knight.
Oh, absolutely. But that's something, this is something that we always taught. And Tim Goforth will tell you, as soon as you get a ball, you don't go left or right. You go straight down the field, and you'd be surprised how you could score.
Sometimes a lineman goes for 7.
Absolutely.
I believe that's what Mike Hearn said. So first and 10 for the Cobras. Actually going to mark him at the 43-yard line. They'll say that's where he went out of bounds. Single receiver to the near side, 3 receivers to the far side. C.J. Hill in a shotgun. He'll send T.J. Johnson out to his right. Empty backfield now for the young quarterback. Stepping up, fires, and his hand going to be hit, and he's going to throw this one into the turf. And he got some pressure from Dan Dario. And it'll be second and 10 now for the Cobras.
Let me tell you, ouch. That's all I can tell you. Wow. He got drilled.
4:49 left here, second quarter. Second and 10 for Cleveland. They trail by a score of 21-7. Jim Craven with you, along with the coach, Bob Gessler, Matt Craven, Will Craven. High atop the press box here, actually out on the roof enjoying the weather today. Week 2 of the PAFL. As Tufts, Germany, and Thompson will be the receivers to the near side. That'll be Matt Wise, single receiver to the far side. C.J. Hale at quarterback now for Cleveland. T.J. Johnson to his right. We'll get a whistle.
Delay game.
And indeed, it'll now be 3rd and 15. for Cleveland.
Always tell my quarterbacks, you've got to pay attention to that back official. Is that who that is, Jim? Am I saying?
Yeah, and he's even given a 10-second warning. You can see both hands go up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Hale back to pass. Quick pass out to T.J. Johnson. Again over the head out to the 40, 45. He'll spin down to the 47-yard line. And it'll bring up 4th and about 7 for the Cleveland Cobras. And
what do you do, Jim? What will Coach Bob do?
Coach Bob would probably tell Coach Tom to go sit down. We're going to go for this, but
hey, you're down 3. You're down that many scores, 2 scores right before the half. I'm going.
So third down, not 4th down. Okay,
correct.
So the marker said 3rd down the last play. So we're all right. We'll stop paying attention to that. T.J. Johnson flanking now out to the left side, empty backfield for C.J. Hale. Going to have to watch the back judge again. Cobras taking their time. C.J. Hale at quarterback.
4.
And the Broncos are going to take a timeout with 3:39 left here in the second quarter. We'll keep it right here for a moment here, Coach, as the Broncos take another timeout here. And C.J. Hale, of course, you see him making the mistakes you would expect here. Maybe a little bit of time, not moving fast enough.
Right. But as a head coach, I'm going to tell him, you know what? You got to look at, if you see that there's 10 fingers up, you better have a clock in your head to get rid of it.
Coach, over at Jackson Milton, 3:14 left in the third quarter. The Youngstown Patricians lead the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids 20-17.
Ooh.
So Cuyahoga scoring 17 unanswered points. And a tight one there. And we expected that was going to be a good game, but after maybe a little bit of shell shock in the first quarter, the Rapids get it together.
Drew the line in the sand, didn't they? Said, come on.
Oh, Rapids Falls. Get it? Line in the sand. That's good. I like that, Coach.
Yeah, see that? I'm just not a pretty face.
We got some marketing here. So C.J. Hale, 3rd and 7. Coming out of the Ohio Broncos timeout. T.J. Johnson will go out to his left. It'll be an empty backfield. Quick pass out. And that's going to be complete to Germany. Germany going to catch it, and it'll be down at the 46-yard line and a flag on the play. And it's going to be a push-off. Pass interference against Cleveland.
Well, I can tell you what happened, Jim. He started blocking before the receiver caught the ball, and they're going to call that every time I watched it. It's right in front of us, and that's exactly what happened.
So D'Angelo Thompson looks like he's the guilty party as he tries to politic for maybe a wave off of that flag, but he's not going to get it. So we'll have 3rd down over again. 3:27 left here in the second quarter. Ohio Broncos 21, Cleveland Cobras 7. So pass interference against the offense. Ball be marked at the 32-yard line. They have to get to the 47-yard line on the Ohio Broncos side of the field. So in negative territory, C.J. Hale will bring in the play from the sideline. Overall, though, you got to be impressed with C.J. Hale, a quarterback. Looks very comfortable, maybe after a rough start again, maybe a little bit of adrenaline. 3 receivers to the near side. Johnson will go to the far side. Empty backfield again for Hale. Hale back to pass. Under pressure, going to be a hold on the play. No flag called, though. Hale now throwing out towards the sideline, and Danny Skalecki will catch that on the sideline for the Ohio Broncos. Skalecki catches everything. All right, so 4th down for Cleveland. They'll have to punt this one away. Just under 3 minutes to play here, first half. Cleveland trailing by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's telling his team, do you see how I caught that ball? Them palms were up. That elbow was bent.
We always tell the story of Danny Skalecki and the time he opened his trunk and there were 6 helmets in the back and they were all different colors. As if he was waiting to see if an emergency football game was going to break out.
There you go.
So he's been doing this for a long time, and I don't know if there's anybody out there that loves this game more than him. Formerly the quarterback for the Ohio Gladiators. Formerly a player for a lot of teams.
That many helmets.
Try to keep a wide variety in there just so you can get close on the colors.
All right. That's all right.
So Cooper Ryder counting up the defense here, or excuse me, the punt team.
Come on.
And we had a whistle, I think, before the snap, and it's going to be another delay of game.
Yep.
So
delay.
So the Cobras just can't seem to get going here, Coach. Maybe a lack of focus.
Yeah, they got to remember, this isn't I could take as much time as I can. They have got to get it in their heads. Guys, you got to look for that official back there, and if he's way back there, I mean, come on.
Fortunately, on a punt, 5 yards, not going to make much of a difference. Cobras have had one punt block today. That was the first punt by the Cobras that set up the Ohio Broncos well into Cleveland territory. They'll move this ball back. They'll mark it at the 26-yard line now. Jeff Cooper Ryder going to post up right around his own 15-yard line. Good snap back there to get this one away, and it's going to be a good punt.
Beautiful punt.
As this one's going to roll. It's going to take a Cleveland roll.
Boy.
And it's going to keep rolling inside the 10. And it'll switch directions and then stopped at the 9-yard line. A great punt by Jeff Cooper Ryder. That'll flip sides of the field, and that'll give the Cobras something to work with 152 left here in the first half.
If anything, that'll keep them and make them, as long as they're careful on anything deep and fast, that minute 52, you're going 90 yards, so that helps, pinning them back a bit.
Tamir Stevens doing a good job getting downfield, covering that. But nice breeze up here on the roof.
It is. Temperature dropped a little bit, feels good. Nice and warm today.
Kind of like Goldilocks. Not too hot, not too warm, not too cold.
It was pretty warm.
Just right.
It was pretty warm this morning, about 80-some degrees. Pool got open, so we're going to be ready to go. Fire up the heater tomorrow.
So Sewell in the shotgun, 2x2 receivers. Ball on the near hash mark. Sewell trying to reposition the receivers on his left. They'll send another running back out there. Empty backfield. Sewell back to pass. Under pressure, stepping up in the pocket. And he's going to be brought down near the line of scrimmage. So secondary for the Cobras doing the job.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go for Marquello Sewell.
I'll tell you what, they've done a good job. They're buttoning their guys up. Good job by their defensive back coach for the Cobras, making some adjustments. Now, I noticed that they are playing up a little bit more tough, but they got to be careful with that, the speed on the outside, because that's what bit them the last time.
So receivers 2x2 in the shotgun. Quick pass out to the far side. That'll be caught at the 15. They'll make a move and knocked out of bounds near the 21-yard line. Asian Bird on the catch. Looked like he went down a little awkwardly on that turf.
Yeah.
He's going to take a second to get up, but he'll get up on his own and head back to the huddle. Get some multiple whistles from the officials here. I think they were checking on Burt, but he didn't stay down. He headed right back to the huddle, thankfully. So it looked like he slid and went down a little bit awkward there, but again, we talked about that turf when we were out there. It's a little bit older. I don't know if it has as good a grip as maybe the new versions of these surfaces do.
I noticed walking over, it's laying down flat. So you're not getting the top of the artificial turf, you're getting it off the edge, and that's going to create a slip because it's not standing up, it's laying down. The field is in good shape, but it's just old.
2x2 are the receivers for the Broncos. Townsend, the far receiver. Sewell in the shotgun, running back to his left. Rolling out to the near side, under pressure. Picordi chasing him down. He'll fire out towards the sideline. And this one caught by a big man on the sideline, Joshua Klein. Gets the sideline grab, but the clock will stop with 1:02 left as he'll throw that ball out of bounds. Broncos catching everything today on the field, on the sideline.
It's true. That is very true.
They've been a more focused club here today so far. Second down now. Ball at the 19-yard line. Sewell in the shotgun. From the gun, play action. Looking down to the right, and he's going to throw this one into the turf. Incomplete. And the clock will stop with just under a minute to play here, first half. Third down now for the Ohio Broncos. Cobras looking to hold here as they approach the halftime mark. they will have to kick off to start the second half as well. Good one brewing over there on Western Reserve Radio 2. The Youngstown Patricians lead the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids 20-17. That one approaching the fourth quarter. And Sewell now waiting for the snap. Back to pass, looking out to his right. He'll throw out into the flats, complete at the 25-yard line, and gets out to the 30. And it'll be close to a first down. They'll say actually he'll get it, as the clock will continue to run with 42 seconds left. Second quarter.
Yeah, he tried to get out of bounds. He just didn't get there, so they said run the clock.
So waiting for the snap. They'll go right back to the line. He'll plant his feet, fire over the middle, and whoo! Incomplete, overthrown. Deontay McDonald, the closest one to it for the Cobras. That'll stop the clock with 20 seconds. As Danny Skalecki will replace Lynn Townsend. Week 2 of the Premier Amateur Football League making its return this year. Jermaine Campbell reviving that. As Sibley will go in motion from left to right. He'll actually stop there, talk to Sewell, and check the wrist coach. Back to pass. Firing it out to the sideline here, and don't know if that was caught or not by Asian Burt. And they're going to say, okay, incomplete, went off the turf.
Yeah, he trapped it.
Had Joshua Klein in my way. He's a pretty large guy. Blocked out my view. Clock stopped with 14 seconds left. Third down for the Ohio Broncos. So Burt and Strickland, the receivers, to the near side. Skalecki and Sibley will be to the right. Marquello Sewell. Dan Dar. Oh, listen, a running back out there, empty backfield for Sewell. Stepping up in the pocket, got some pressure, and it's going to go off the hands of Arthur Green. That'll bring up fourth down. The big man had a chance at an interception, couldn't twist around to get it.
That would have been rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, baby. Let me tell you, that would have been a truck coming at you.
Big man's dream dashed as the ball falls to the turf.
Take them mittens off, my friend.
And looks like the Broncos will bring in Will Shropshire to punt this one away. 8 seconds left in the first half. With 8 seconds left on a punt, Coach, it always makes you feel a little uneasy.
You ain't a kidding.
Like something weird could happen. James Pugh coming onto the field late, as well as Casey Gladney.
Now we got too many.
And Dario. Yeah, they're going to have to replace somebody, and Austin Druhart says, nope, I'll go. And they're going to take the penalty. All right, so 8 seconds still left here. Really no issue. Shropshire will post up around his own 10-yard line.
Okay, we have 11 on the field right now. That's a good thing.
10, 11, we'll get close. As long as it's not 12.
Well, there was almost 13 there, but that's okay.
It's easier coverage when you have 13.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice snap back, and then we're going to have a flag, and I believe there's going to be a false start as Robert Littlejohn's back there with Tyree Knight. It'll head out of bounds at the 32-yard line, and I'm sure they'll want to make them kick this again. 1 second left on the clock, but because the penalty was a procedure, they might put the 8 seconds back up.
Oh, they're calling it offsides.
Well, he threw his flag to the offensive side. Coach, I'm just confused.
Yeah, I mean, he showed offsides, pointed to the kicking team. He could have, somebody lined up offsides. Just, my thing is just go in the locker room.
All right, 1 second left. We'll see what they want to do here. Nobody seems to be real interested. I got to be quite honest, Coach. I mean, it's all right. So they're going to mark the ball at the 38-yard line on the Cleveland side. 1 second left. We'll see if the Cobras take a shot downfield.
I've got to believe that's probably what they're going to do.
But both teams moving at a strangely slow pace.
Well, the clock has stopped, so.
All right, so an update from Jackson Milton High School. As the Cobras will take a knee, and then time will expire. We'll go to the half. The Ohio Cobras with a 21-7 lead over the Cleveland Cobras. And anyway, from Jackson Milton, the Youngstown Patricians, they add a field goal, take a 23-17 lead over the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids. The Rapids score 17 unanswered points before the Patricians put up a field goal. As we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have a ceremony here honoring Rodrigo Stamps, former player with the Ohio Broncos and the Cleveland Cobras, who passed away unexpectedly, and they're going to honor him here at the half. You are listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network.
Western Reserve Radio is the Valley's online source for sports talk and local events. Tune in and be part of their live weekly shows, as well as the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey, high school football, and the PAFL. Find them on westernreserveradio.com, tune in, and the Live 365 app to be part of the area's conversation. Be sure to visit them on Facebook at Western Reserve Radio or on Twitter at WR_radio. Accidents happen. That's why you need Repair That Glass. Specializing in windshield replacement and all other auto glass, we offer a full range of automotive glass repairs. Our technicians can do everything from minor chip repair to a complete replacement. Your windows don't go up or down, they can fix that too, along with custom glass work and antiques. Repair That Glass is a family-run business for over 40 years. Repair That Glass. Call for your appointment now at 330-534-3192.
So, are you enjoying our station? Well, now you can take us along on your mobile device wherever you go. Wow! The free Live 365 app is available for both Apple and Android devices.
That sounds like fun. I'll give it a try.
Just go to the Apple app or Google Play Store and download it today.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
Catch all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on Western Reserve Radio. Follow the Cobras as they compete against teams from around the region in pursuit of a Tri-Point Football League championship. And if you're looking to continue your football career after high school, college, or even the pros, or to be part of the Cobras staff, go to clevelandcobrasfootball.com, Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football, or contact owner Jesse Caldwell at 330-416-3442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, class. Let's hear what everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Well, I raised my older sister to a big oak tree. It was at least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something. And then we went down by a stream and perched up on this huge rock and saw all these little minnows swimming around way below us. And then I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him at the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home. Wow. Awesome. Where were you, Jill? Yeah. We went to the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. She wasn't even really sure where she was at.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Olivia from Washington. Laid off and trying to keep our little kids from realizing that mommy and daddy haven't eaten in a while.
Roger from California. I'm grateful we could afford our son's surgery. I'm nervous that now we can't really afford food.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Donna from Louisiana. The storm just hit, and we went from donating to the food bank to needing it.
Keisha from South Carolina. I've been skipping meals so my 2 kids can eat, but filling up on water doesn't really work.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Someone's got to set the tone out there, boys. Someone's got to set it.
The station that sets the tone for Youngstown Phantoms hockey is Western Reserve Radio. WRTV, The Scourge.
Halftime continues here on the campus of St. Thomas Aquinas. The Ohio Broncos with a 21-7 lead over the Cleveland Cobras. They just had a ceremony at midfield for Rico Stamps, former player with both squads here, where his number was retired. So his son here today, so we're happy we could be here for that. As we went down and took a breather, ran into Danny Skalecki, had a little conversation with him, and I think Mike Hearn calls me old when I was playing. I think Skalecki's going to retire on Social Security.
He claims if he's 50, when he's 56, he'll retire.
Oh, all right. Well, I told you, if I'm good, I'm going to use up every ounce of this body. And when they walk past the coffin, and say, "Oh my goodness." Anyway, take a look at the scoring recap here, as the Cobras look for some answers here in the second half. With 4:02 left in the first quarter, it would be Perrine on a 20-yard touchdown pass from Raquel Sewell that would get the Ohio Broncos on the board. They would take a 7-0 lead. With 10:01 left in the second quarter, Lynn Townsend would be the recipient of a 15-yard touchdown pass from Sewell that would give the Broncos the 14-0 lead. And in 7:25 left in the second quarter, D'Angelo Thompson on the reception from C.J. Hale. C.J. Hale coming in relief of James Cooney, hits a 25-yard touchdown pass and cuts the Ohio Bronco lead to 14-7. And with 4:59 left in that first half, it would be Perrine again on another 20-yard touchdown pass from Marquello Sewell that would give the Ohio Broncos the 21-7 lead. And here going into the second half, the Broncos will get the ball. So that, Coach, on the coin toss worked out for them, as they could take an opportunity to extend this lead.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Cleveland's got to come out gunning for it, because they go down 3 scores. It's going to be tough for them to come back. They've had some good flashes of some good football and stuff, but I'll tell you what, the offensive line for the Broncos have really dominated. That's something that they're going to have to look at and see. But again, when you're outweighed probably, and I'm trying to be kind here, 40 to 50 pounds a man, that sometimes is tough. It's just trying to get through those guys.
So physics plays a role here in football. And, Coach, check this out. 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Cuyahoga Falls Rapids take a 24-23 lead over the Youngstown Patricians after being down 20-0. The Rapids fight back, and they have a 1-point lead over there on Western Reserve Radio 2, of course, with Mark Means, Dave Clark, Dave Ferris. And, Coach, if you paid your money, you're getting your money's worth over there.
Yeah, that's no lie. I'll tell you what, that's exciting. But the Patricians have got to pick it up. I mean, if they haven't scored for a while, they got to get it together. They got to make some changes and try to find something else. Obviously, their defense needs to tighten up, but their offense has got to get something going over there.
John Galbraith doing a good job over there, along with Coach Harris, putting together that squad for Youngstown. Got to take a look at some of their uniforms. The uniforms pretty much premised on the 1910-1920 version of the Youngstown Patricians, and came out pretty sharp there. So a lot of exciting things going on over there in the Youngstown area. For Cleveland, they're looking for answers here, Coach. If you're Coach Adam Rogerson, what adjustments are you making here in the third quarter?
I'll tell you what, I've got to say, just quick hitters. Again, some intermediate, some slants, some quick stuff. Then back them up and hit them with the deep, or start out with something deep and then go into that. But the running the ball has been they haven't run the ball well, so they've got to start trying to get them linebackers, because all they're doing is Broncos are blitzing quite a bit. So try to get stuff and try to get behind them linebackers and dump some stuff up, forcing them to play deep and get into their drops, and then maybe you could open up some of the running game.
Take a look at C.J. Hill. And a great arm, got some distance downfield, showed some arm strength. I guess you start looking in the second half, maybe start to look for that accuracy to see if he has that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, though, he's hit a few. He's also missed a few that could have easily going away from the scoreboard that would have tightened that score up to 21-14. So again, they need to come out. They need to shut them down offensively, and they get the ball back and get down there and score. And you're going to have to do it quickly, because, let me tell you what, you can't let it drag on. You got to start attacking.
Long way to go in this one as we get ready to kick off the third quarter. The Ohio Broncos with a 21-7 lead over the Cleveland Cobras. I want to thank you for listening in, whether you're listening on Facebook or YouTube or the Live 365 network or on TuneIn. We are all over the place here. You can listen to audio, look at video.
I like that.
Western Reserve Radio, but we have video.
Western Reserve Radio, and we're all over.
A couple of big announcements coming up hopefully in the next couple of weeks as we look to expand the iMedia One family. Of course, Coach, Thursday and Friday we got to see some of the talent in the Valley.
Yeah.
And the 39th annual Mahoning Valley Coaches Association Jack Arvin Classic All-Star Game there at Liberty High School. Unfortunately, a little bit of rain.
Yeah, well, that didn't hold back. And, it's funny, in that game, too, a good friend of mine, AD out at Liberty, Todd Smith, who's interim coach, out helping out and doing what he's got to do. Asked him if he'd do it, and he said, yeah. Coach Palogo, I think, was just not concentrating on that, starting on his team and getting his guys in Liberty ready to go. So, it was a great time, but if I may say, the Mahoning Valley line was just dominant over Trumbull.
Yeah, Mahoning gets the win here. Cooper Ryder will kick this one off and be picked up by Strickland at the 10-yard line out to the 15-20. He'll take it to the Broncos sideline and be tripped up near the 35-yard line. And that's where the Ohio Broncos will start off 1st and 10 here in the third quarter. Cleveland looking for answers on both sides of the ball. So far, Marquello Sewell with 3 touchdown passes today, Coach. He's probably about as good as we've seen him, even we were competing against him in the 15 and 17 season.
I think we did a pretty good job against him. He's a good quarterback. We had some guys back there that could play the game and play the ball, and I'll tell you what, I think we did an outstanding job against them. It was always a good, hard-fought game.
Yeah, 1-1 against them. So.
Yep.
And if you ever have an opportunity to have a conversation with a great young man.
Absolutely.
So twin receivers to the far side. As well to the right of Sewell. 1st and 10 from the Bronco 35-yard line. Sewell in the shotgun. Just underway here, third quarter. Handoff straight up the middle. Venson going to be tripped up. May have picked up a yard on the play, maybe a little less. 2nd and 9 now for the Ohio Broncos. Actually, he's going to step back over, so we'll call it 2nd and 10.
That's a good job.
He moved his left foot back over, Coach. I saw it.
Brandon Carmen was just flying around, and he was able to lasso him down. I just want to tell you, Mr. Carmen, he's got it in 4th gear, maybe a 5th gear the whole time during the game, so he's all over the place.
Robert Littlejohn in the middle as well. We're looking to see what he can do here in the 3rd quarter. Sewell in the shotgun. Handoff again up the middle. Met right at the line, but he'll fight his way down to the 40-yard line. Pick up a 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 5 now for the Broncos.
Yeah, well, you got to hit this guy low. I mean, he's low to the ground. He's got a thick body, 2 big legs, and he's pretty quick coming out of there. So you've got to attack him low. You ain't taking him up on high, especially when he's leaning forward. So he's just plowing ahead.
Arthur Green, Joe Barrico, Ambrose McCorney, 3 down linemen for the Cleveland Warriors, for the Cleveland Cobras. Matt Federer on the left side of that defense showing some pressure. Sewell in the shotgun. 1 high safety for Cleveland. Sewell with the slow snap. Back to pass, fires down the middle, has a receiver, and it's going to be, is it caught? It'll be caught at the 20-yard line. Tony Perrine on the catch, and we're going to have a hold in the secondary against Cleveland. Of course, the Broncos will decline that one. They'll have the ball 1st and 10 at the Cobra 20-yard line.
I'll tell you what, it was great coverage, Jim. It was he was right there. They both went up, and it looked like it was picked off, but the receiver was able to rip it out of his hands and come down with it.
Broncos going to go right back to the line, 1st and 10. Burt and Strickland, the receivers to the near side. Sewell, last-minute bit of information for Strickland. In the shotgun, Benson to his right. Looking downfield, pump fake, under pressure, trying to get to the outside. He'll get out to the 20 and knocked out of bounds. Nico St. Clair wrapping him up. Picked up a couple yards on the play, but a great job by the Cleveland secondary.
Yeah, absolutely. They did a good job up there. Again, the secondary is really keeping them in this game. They're not giving them anything. It's either they're getting beat deep on passes, or believe me, they're really up there. They're not giving them much now, and they've really made adjustments, and they're playing their receivers tight. Those DBs are doing a great job.
2nd and 7 for the Ohio Broncos. Will mark the ball at the 17-yard line. 11:28 left here in the 3rd quarter. Danny Skalecki will be the single receiver to the far side. 3 receivers to the near side. Benson in the backfield. Sewell in the shotgun. Sewell with the handoff. Benson. First hit by Arthur Green. He'll be brought down. Looked like he got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd and 7 again now for the Broncos.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Arthur Green was right on that. He was getting blocked, but he fought that off, kept his feet going, extended his arms, was able to hog tie him, and I wouldn't have wanted to been him as that big body fell on me. That had to hurt.
Broncos definitely with some size up front.
Ooh,
Cleveland
yeah.
with a few themselves.
Yep.
McCorney, Green. Good-sized gentleman. So 3rd and 7 now for the Broncos. Skalecki, single receiver to the far side. 3 receivers to the right of Sewell. 10:26 left here, 3rd quarter. Broncos with a 21-7 lead. Sewell rolling out to the near side. Looking for somebody in the end zone to file out to the side. It'll be caught by Asian Bird at the 9-yard line. Inside the 5 and then down near at the 4-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Ohio Broncos. Sewell creating time with his legs. He gets the ball out to Asian Burt.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, he sidearmed that and he gunned that in there because I'll tell you what, there was some good coverage in there, but boy, he was able to pinpoint that in. He is a very good quarterback.
Same formation this time. So Skalecki will remain the single receiver to the far side. He'll give it to Benson. Benson off the left side, chased by McCorney, and he'll be helped out by Deontay McDonald and then brought down. Maybe for a loss, depending on where they want to spot it. McCorney out of Green High School.
Green High School. Let me tell you what, those guys, they can play some football at Green High School.
Are they is it the Green Men?
Green Men.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Okay. I keep thinking of Dover over there. I keep thinking of the Tornadoes.
There you go. I like to see that mascot.
Same formation again as Sewell. We'll talk to Benson here. Carmen and Littlejohn making adjustments on the defensive side. Sewell with the handoff. They'll fight forward. They'll get down to the 3-yard line. 3rd and goal now for the Ohio Broncos. Trying to extend this lead. They lead already 21-7. Go right back to the line.
Vincent says, feed me, feed me.
Burt, Townsend, and Strickland, the receivers to the right. Vincent on the direct snap. Fight his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio Broncos, 8:22 of the 3rd quarter. They extend their lead to 27-7.
Yeah, it was a good drive. I'll tell you what, though, DBs, they did a great job on that drive. It's just there was other things that they needed to tighten up. But, again, Broncos up front doing a great job. Opening holes, giving them protection.
Raekwon Vincent extends the Bronco lead to 27-7 with 8:22 left here, 3rd quarter. Will Shropshire on for the for the extra point. Tony Perrine to hold. Snap is back. Kick is up, and it is good. 8:22 left here, 3rd quarter. Broncos extend their lead to 28-7. You're listening to PAFL football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network. We're back right after this.
So, are you enjoying our station? Well, now you can take us along on your mobile device wherever you go.
Wow!
The free Live 365 app is available for both Apple and Android devices.
That sounds like fun. I'll give it a try.
Just go to the Apple app or Google Play Store and download it today.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world. Youngstown, Warren, and Salem's local and national sports talk can be found on TuneIn and the Live 365 app at Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
The Bronco drive, 9 plays, 65 yards. Raekwon Benson getting into the end zone on a 3-yard touchdown run. The Broncos now lead 28-7 over the Cleveland Cobras.
Beware of the pooch. When they got a holder, he's just going to try to squib it or pop it up.
They'll put a big man down there, Joshua Klein, defensive lineman, to hold it. Taylor and Knight back to return. They haven't kicked very deep here today. Trying to keep it away from Tyree Knight. Good coaching move, actually.
Absolutely.
This one going to be a low kick, going to take a bounce out to the 25, down to the 20. Taylor picking up at the 20, looking for some room to run. He'll get to the outside, slip one tackle, and he's still on the move, moving his way out to the 45, and brought down at the 47-yard line. And Cleveland will start off 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line. 8:10 left here, 3rd quarter. And that's why they have been kicking the ball away from the returners. And we have an Ohio Bronco down as Beth Betancourt, the trainer for the Cleveland Cobras, will come out and check on them. 9 plays, 65 yards on the drive for the Ohio Broncos to give them the 28-7 lead. And as Will mentioned here, long sustained drives by the Broncos, eating this clock up and wearing down the front of that Cleveland Cobra defensive line.
And again, a shout out to the Cobras DBs, but you know, there's only so much that you can do play after play after play, and you know, they're just going to find that opening eventually, but they've done an outstanding job. So Cleveland's got to come out right now. They're lining up, and they have got to get a drive going and get points.
Caleb Hannum shake it up for the Broncos. He'll walk to the sideline on his own power. 3 receivers to the far side. C.J. Hale at quarterback for the Cobras. He'll give it to T.J. Johnson. Met in the backfield by 3 orange jerseys. Nowhere to go for the Cobra running back. And that's going to be a loss of 3 yards.
Yeah, that was, ouch. That was 3 guys on the handoff, and it was the wrong color.
2nd and 13 for Cleveland. 7:28 left here, third quarter. I would believe we're getting down to the final moments of the first game of the day over there on Western Reserve Radio 2. Cuyahoga Falls Rapids had a 24-23 lead over the Youngstown Patricians. As Cobras now will go single receiver to the near side. That'll be Matt Wise. 3 receivers to the far side. 2nd and 13. T.J. Johnson now receiver to the near side. Empty backfield. As C.J. Hale will take a 3-step drop, step up in the pocket. Has some room to run. Directed traffic. Fires downfield. And it's going to be caught. Tyree Knight into the end zone. Touchdown Cleveland. He came back for the ball. 6:47 left in the third quarter. Cobras cut the lead to 28-13.
Oh, wow. Well, I just want to say, I'm glad he came back for that ball because it looked like it was getting picked because that thing went up and it then started fluttering like a duck. And let me tell you what, he came back for that ball and did an outstanding job catching and then avoiding the defender and scoring. That's a great job.
Tyree Knight comes up big. Keeps the Cobras in this game. I believe that's going to be credited for a 53-yard pass. As Cooper Ryder will come on for the extra point. C.J. Hale gets his first touchdown pass. We'll get some whistles from the officials here as I think they're going to set the ball or reset it. As Hale now will also be the holder on the conversion. Snap is back, kick is up, and it is good. Wow. 6:47 left here, third quarter. Cleveland on a 53-yard touchdown pass cuts the lead to 28-14. You are listening to PAFL football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network, and we will be back on the other side of this break.
All right, remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
Cleveland strikes on a 2-play, 53-yard drive. On a strike from C.J. Hale to Tyree Knight. Knight actually doing most of the work there. Had to come back for the ball, snagged it, and headed into the end zone. He gets his first touchdown of the year, as well as does C.J. Hale. Again, coming in relief of James Cooney at quarterback as Cleveland will kick this one off. Cooper Ryder will get into this one. Strickland picking it up at the 7-yard line. Cornelius Strickland out past the 20. He'll slip one tackle. Try to head to the other side. Has a little bit of room. We're going to have a flag on the play. And he'll be brought down near the 25-yard line. But I got a feeling, Coach, it's either a hold or a block in the back.
Block in the back is what I saw. It looked like. Yeah, and yep. Well, he said block in the back, but it's holding. Whatever.
Either way, not
Either
good.
way, not good. It's going to be a 10-yard.
So the Broncos will take over with 6:35 left in the third quarter. See where they're going to mark it at.
Should be 10 yards from the spot to the foul.
All right, so it looks like they're going to mark this ball at the 11 or 12-yard line. Hard to tell at this angle. 12-yard line, where the official will put his right foot.
Or left foot.
Clock will continue to run here. 6:30 left here, third quarter. Iowa Broncos 28, Cleveland Cobras 14. C.J. Thompson, 2 touchdowns today. One to D'Angelo Thompson earlier. I said it was his first one. Excuse me, it's his second one.
Second one.
Not a bad first day on the job, though.
No.
Soul looking for the handoff. Miscommunication. Shropshire was looking around, and Soul going to be wrapped up and may have lost a yard on the play, but that could have been way worse for the home team. And we're going to have a Cleveland Cobra down. 5:45 left.
There was a whole lot of leg whipping there. Holy mackerel.
Beth Betancourt, our in-house trainer for the Cleveland Cobra, is going to come out and see if she can't fix whatever's going on there. Didn't get a number on that, but nonetheless, 5:45 left here, third quarter. Iowa Broncos with a 28-14 lead. A slow start by the Broncos, or excuse me, by the Cobras, kind of cost them, but also had the sustained drives by the Broncos. Again, that big line kind of wearing on you.
Yeah, they definitely will. They just do some leaning on you. And again, Cobras they're trying to get it going. They're trying to do it over. But when you got big boys like that in front of you, Broncos are big up front, strong. They're well disciplined, and you just got to find a way.
Jamar Fleming coming out to check on his player. And looks like it might be an ankle. Didn't get a name for the player yet, but defensive coordinator Jamar Fleming going to come out and check on him as well. While we have a moment, we'll step aside for a break. Injury time out here. 5:45 left here, third quarter. You're listening to PAFL football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Your home for PAFL football is the iMedia One Network. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
.545 left here, third quarter. Broncos with a 28-14 lead. We'll come out of the timeout, injury timeout. And it'll be the Broncos with the ball, 2nd and 11. From the 10-yard line, Soul with the handoff to Shropshire. Shropshire off the left side, working back to the inside. He'll slip a few tackles and be brought down near the 21-yard line. And it might be just short of a first down. Twisting and turning is the former Gladiator. As I'll mark this at the 21-yard line. Looks like they have to get to the 22 for the first down. So 3rd and 1 for the Broncos. Sewell in the shotgun. Twin receivers to each side. Having a last word with his center.
Center sneak. We're pulling.
Sewell with the handoff out to the outside. Shropshire, he'll get enough. He'll have just enough for the first down. He'll get out to the 25. And we're informed that with just over a minute to play in Mahoning County, Cuyahoga Falls Rapids have a 30-23 lead over the Youngstown Patricians. No timeouts left for the Patricians. And after being down 20-0, the Rapids fight their way back. We don't want to call that one. It's a close one right now, but
yeah,
Rapids in the lead. As the clock here will continue to run. 4:10 left here, third quarter. Sewell in the shotgun. Shropshire to his left. He'll flip from the left side of Marquello Sewell to the right side. 2x2 in the receiver set. Back to pass. Bouncing around. Fires over the middle. And it's going to be caught at the 41-yard line. Savion Sibley for the Broncos. Enough for another Broncos first down.
Yeah, I mean, he went down and he dug that out of the dirt and he pulled that in. That's a great job by that receiver. That's when you go over and say, I owe you one.
The 1st and 10 for the Broncos at their own 40-yard line. 3:28 left here in the third quarter. So in the shotgun, waits for the snap. Back to pass, fires out to the near side. Caught at the 46-yard line, knocked out near midfield. We'll see where they mark the ball for him. Chris Colley on the reception.
They're saying first down.
All right, so they're going to mark the ball at the Cleveland 49-yard line. 1st and 10, 3:06 left on a clock that continues to run. Cleveland trails by a score of 28-14. So in the shotgun. Back to pass, looking out to his left, fires. And it's almost brought in by Tony Perrine. Lamar Hill on the coverage. The defensive back out of Collinwood High School.
He actually did a pretty good job on that. He turned around and readjusted, and it would have been close if he had put it right there. He could have possibly got a hand in there.
Clock stopped with 2:43 left in the third quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Broncos. Ball at the Cleveland 49. Perrine will head to the sideline for a breather.
Yeah. That hurts when you fall like that. Oof.
Sibley and Townsend will be the twin receivers to the far side now of Sewell. Sewell back to pass, looking over the middle. Fires. That's going to be caught at the 41. And slip one tackle and be brought down at the 35. Another first down for the Ohio Broncos.
I tell you what, he gets heat on him, and he's very patient, very patient. He relies on them receivers to get open and find that soft spot. Yeah, I tell you what, that's a quarterback that, you know what, you really want him on your team. He's a very smart young man.
Cordelia Strickland on the reception. Remember Strickland all the way back, I believe, to the NEO Predators.
I've heard that name
so
before.
Some veteran players out here. Townsend and Sibley will be the twin receivers to the left of Sewell. Back to pass again is Sewell looking over the middle, under pressure. He'll slip one tackle, roll out to the far side, fire across the field, and pass intended for Colley, but incomplete. Tried to throw on the run, but threw that one into the turf before he could get to the intended target. So 1:48 left here is Joe Barrico getting up a little bit slow, but he'll get up on his own, head to the sideline. Third quarter action here at St. Thomas Aquinas, Stark County. Ohio Broncos returning this year to the PAFL. Cleveland making the jump from the Tri-Point Football League back to the PAFL as well. We were fortunate enough to be a part of this, about 10 years ago, Coach.
Yeah.
I think everybody up here on this roof was there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good time.
Yeah, outstanding.
It's Sewell now in the shotgun. Give it to Benson. Benson fighting forward. He'll twist and turn, and he'll fall forward for a couple-yard pickup. Actually, I think I can give him a 3-yard credit. So 3rd and 7 now for the Ohio Broncos. Clock will continue to run here. 90 seconds left. Third frame.
They're doing a good job not letting the run game get started here, too. Cobras are doing a pretty good job with that now. Just one day, they just got to put it all together, that's all. On a drive, get it together. We got to stop them here.
Marvin Germany now in at the outside backer position. Sold back to pass. Plenty of time. Fires out to his right. and he's going to throw this one out of bounds. Going to bring up 4th down for the Ohio Broncos. And we are told it is a final from Mahoney County, the Grand Rapids, there we go, the Cedar Falls Rapids. They come back to get the 30-23 win over the Youngstown Patricians. The Rapids moved to 2-0. The Patricians moved to 1-1 in the PAFL season. And a fantastic game, apparently, over there at Jackson Milton High School. Rapids fighting back from a 20-0 deficit. They outscore the Patricians 30-3 after that 20-0 lead. Sewell back to pass. Under a little bit of pressure. He'll roll out to the far side. Carmen on the missed tackle. Sewell getting out to the inside the 20 and brought down at the 19-yard line. Samir Stevens on the tackle. Sewell went up there and he got wrapped up. And it'll be a 1st down for the Ohio Broncos. They'll mark it at the 19-yard line.
Again, he had nowhere to go with that ball. The defensive backfield of Cleveland is doing an outstanding job in this football game.
7 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter, and I believe they're going to let that run down. So we will head to the 4th quarter. Coming up, the Ohio Broncos with a 28-14 lead over the Cleveland Cobras will step aside for a quick break. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network.
Western Reserve Radio is the Valley's online source for sports talk and local events. Tune in and be part of their live weekly shows, as well as the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey, high school football, and the PAFL. Find them on westernreserveradio.com, tune in, and the Live 365 app to be part of the area's conversation. Be sure to visit them on Facebook at Western Reserve Radio or on Twitter at WR_radio.
The stations that are always ahead of the game. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast. Youngstown, Ohio.
Final frame coming up here from St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Stark County. The Broncos will have the ball. 1st and 10 at the Cleveland 19-yard line. Cleveland secondary taking away the options, but the offensive line for the Ohio Broncos doing a good job, giving Sewell plenty of time to throw, and if he can't throw, trying to find some room to run.
Yeah, because I watched outside. That end crashed. If he'd have stayed outside, he probably would have contained him a little bit, but he come down off that edge. That left that outside, and I knew Sewell's going to take it. And, boy, let me tell you what, after that first defender came up and he sidestepped him, I thought, oh, boy. But he ended up getting tackled, so great job by the defense.
Sewell in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his right, single receiver to the near side. I'll hand this one off, a little bit of room to run, pick up a couple of yards. 2nd down now for the Broncos. 14:50 left in this game.
Starting to see some different numbers in the backfield.
Now we have a 23 out on the field for Cleveland, but I know that is not Marvin Germany. Sibley to the right of Sewell as well as Perrine. Townsend and Strickland to the left of the Broncos quarterback. Handoff up the middle. Collision there. He'll fight his way down near the 10-yard line. Might be just a little bit short of the 1st down.
Yeah, they're just they're running right at him now. I'm glad to see Brandon Carmen is back in, linebacker.
Durante Nolling out on defensively for Cleveland.
Here comes Little John back in, too.
That's good to see. I believe that was him that got injured, but these jerseys from the back are hard to read.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, they got a big C and a Cobra on it, and it should have been in the front, but it's in the back. We can't read the numbers.
Sewell waiting for the snap. 2-by-2 receiver set. Firing out to his left. And it's going to be intercepted in the end zone. No flag on the play.
Great play. Wow. And he dug that out of the ground. He cut in front of the receiver, and that was outstanding job.
Deontay McDonald brings a great drive to an end. And really, Marquell Sewell's first mistake of the day.
Absolutely, and that was big right there. 13-21, this could be good. They have got to sustain this drive. Be patient, keep yardage going, and be a score down going in with maybe about 7-8 minutes to go. That could happen.
Speaking of being down, again, the Cedar Fall, wow, Michigan on the mind.
Maybe you should go on vacation.
Falls Rapids.
Go on vacation. It's calling your name.
I'm telling you, they get the 30-23 win over the Youngstown Patricians. As looks like T.J. Johnson now in at quarterback. Johnson under pressure immediately, wrapped up in the backfield. We'll get the whistle. Nowhere for him to go.
I mean, the snap came, and he had at least 2 or 3 Broncos when he took the snap. They got to do a better job, and there's got to be linebackers shooting, so they have those guards and those outside people have got to have their heads up. Squeeze down.
Cleveland making a change in some personnel. 2nd and 12. Devin Tufts out of Nordonia High School will be on the outside here. Angelo Thompson, a slot receiver to the right. Back to pass. Fire in the middle and caught at the 20-yard line. He'll fight his way down near the 23-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and just about 7.
Reachable.
Cleveland will go back to the line. C.J. Hale at quarterback. T.J. Johnson to his left. Twin receivers to each side. 11:58 left here in the game. Cobras trail 28-14. Hale back to pass. Fires out to the far side. Caught. He'll make it out to the 30, and now just short of the 40-yard line is Devin Tufts. That's enough for a Cleveland 1st down.
Nice safe throw. Got it to him. DB was playing back, catch the ball, and he got some yardage out of it, so that's an outstanding job.
Up-tempo offense, Cleveland going back to the line. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Hale in the shotgun, Johnson to his left. Twin receivers to each side. Clock running with 11:18. Hale back to pass, stepping up. He'll duck under one defender, take the ball himself, and get out to the 41-yard line. A more manageable 2nd down for Cleveland. Call it 2nd and 3 as they'll go right back to the line, up-tempo.
Yep. I like the call. I believe that was a straight quarterback draw. They fanned up front. Linebackers dropped. He was able to get the yardage. That's a great job.
Hale calling out signals. Pressure being shown by the Broncos. Back to pass. Quick pass out to the far side. Threw it off his back foot and shorthanded it. Pass was intended for Tyree Knight. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3 now for Cleveland.
Yeah, you can't panic on those. Set your feet from your ear, get it there. He just, like you said, Jim, he threw it off his back foot. He had no follow through. It died quickly.
Hale on the sideline, talking to Abe Taylor. They'll bring the play in. 10:38 left here. Clock will stop on the incompleted pass. So go back to the 2-by-2 set. Twin receivers to the far side. Tyree Knight will be the slot. Hale at quarterback. Johnson to his right. Plants his feet, fires, caught over the middle. 50 into Bronco territory and brought down at the 46-yard line. I'll actually give him the 47, but enough for another Cobra 1st down.
Again, they're just the receivers are finding the soft spots and sitting down. That was a great job. They got the Broncos right now on their heels a little bit. Change in defensive line. Offsides. There it is.
So a handoff off the left side. T.J. Johnson firing his way forward out to the 40-yard line. We'll have an encroachment call against the Broncos, but I'm sure they will decline that. Second down now for Cleveland.
Showshire was offsides. I can see it from up here.
So are they actually going to take the penalty?
What?
Well, I guess they're going to take the penalty and get the down over.
Get the down over, then instead of second and whatever.
Encroachment. Defense.
Yeah,
that penalty
actually,
is declined. Okay.
Smart move. Now they get the down back, so it should be first down.
Well, they're going to decline the penalty now. We're going back and forth here, Coach. I don't know.
All righty.
All right, some confusion here as we had a player go down. Looks like Reggie Rogers might have had a cramp. And both teams will head to the sideline for a moment. I don't know if we have a timeout or an injury timeout. Either way, they're working on a cramp. 10:04 left here, fourth quarter. We'll step aside for a quick timeout. You are listening to PAFL football. Hold on one second. Let's see if he's getting up. And
it's a cramp.
All right.
They're working on that calf.
The whole defensive team is working on the cramp. All right, we'll step aside for a 10-second station identification. You are listening to Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. Back right after this.
Someone's got to set the tone out there, boys. Someone's got to set it.
The station that sets the tone for Youngstown Phantoms hockey is Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
He was limping earlier.
All right, first cramp of the day. We'll get that out of the way. As Cleveland now will have the ball 2nd and 3. Ball marked at the Bronco 40-yard line. Slowed the momentum down a little bit there, Coach. As C.J. Hale now at quarterback. He's had quite the day here so far. 2 touchdown passes. And we're going to get
go.
Everybody offsides, both sides. But I
What do we
believe
got?
it's going to be a false start against Cleveland.
I don't know. You have the 2 line judges. Oh, now they called the guy over here. It says legal procedure.
So the headlinesman says false start. I'm not sure if the line judge was completely on board, but they're going to move it back to the 45-yard line. So 2nd and 8 now for Cleveland. Hale in the shotgun. Momentum slowed down now a little bit for Cleveland after the injury timeout and the penalty. Hale back to pass, stepping up, fires, and throws behind the receiver intended for D'Angelo Thompson. Had him in the seam, but...
Oh, let me tell you. And he was one-on-one with the high top safety. Woo-wee. That would have been real interesting.
So 3rd down now for Cleveland. 9:40 left here in the game. Cobras trail by a score 28-14.
Well, regardless, Jim, this is 2-down territory. You got to go now. You can't punt here.
C.J. Hale out of Euclid High School. At quarterback, he'll bring the play in from the sideline. 2x2 are the receivers. Matt Wise will be the receiver on the far outside. I believe he's going to be Tyree Knight to his right. Twin receivers to the near side. That'll be Thompson and Tufts. Back to pass is Hale. Hale fires. Oh, thrown right behind his intended receiver, Matt Wise. And I know that C.J. Hale wants that one back. A nice pattern run by Matt Wise, but
that pattern's been open all day. It's just kind of a deep post. They do not real deep. I'll go 15-yard, then they cut it in, so you end up about 20 yards. That is wide open every time, and he has missed them about 5 times at least. Come back to it. It's right there every time.
Tufts and D'Angelo Thompson will be the receivers to the near side. Wise and Tyree Knight will be to the left. They'll send actually, T.J. Johnson now will head to the right side. We'll go empty backfield. Hale looking downfield. 4th and 8, 9:36 left in the game. Hale back to pass, stepping up in the pocket, fires. A looping pass is going to head to the sideline, out of bounds, and we have a turnover on downs. The Broncos will take over with 9:30 left in the fourth quarter with a 14-point lead.
Yeah. I tell you what, that was a great job offensively, but then it just stalled, and that was it.
Seems like after the injury timeout and the penalty, kind of sucked the life out of them.
Yeah, killed the drive. And we know sometimes that happens.
11-play, 35-yard drive comes to an abrupt end. Sewell will make his way back to the field. They'll mark the ball at the Bronco 45-yard line, 9.5 minutes left. Sewell 3 touchdowns through the air today, as well as 1 interception.
Yeah, we need to get something to happen here. Fumble, interception. We need a turnover bad here.
Three receivers to the near side now. Single receiver to the far side. And we're going to get a whistle. Flag on the play. And I believe it's going to be a timeout, actually. They were going to hit him with a delay of game, but Coach Chris Ballantyne calling the timeout before the clock expired with 9:30 left here in the fourth quarter. We'll step aside for a timeout. You are listening to PAFL Football here on the iMedia One Network. We're back right after this. Nina's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
Your home for PAFL football is the iMedia One Network. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
First and 10, Sewell in the shotgun. He'll hand this one off straight up the middle. It'll be Vincent again. Getting it out to the 49-yard line. Pick up a 4. 2nd and 6 now for the Broncos.
Yeah, nice run. Got 4 yards on it. Cobras got to they got to tighten up that defense. I really think that they want to run this clock, so they're going to be a whole lot of running and be aware of the passing, but the DBs have done a great job. But the backers have got to come up and fill. Stop this running game.
Broncos will go 3 receivers to the left of Sewell this time. Single receiver up top. 8:48 left in the game. And off to Vincent again. Out past midfield down to the 45-yard line. And brought down by Matt Federer. And it's enough for another Ohio Bronco first down.
Yeah, it's the running game. They've got to shut that down. We know that they've done an outstanding job with the defensive backs. I mean, they hit them with a couple of long passes, and they got them. But I'll tell you what, it took them a while to get there. So they've got to shut this running game down, and they have not been able to do that.
1st and 10 from the Cleveland 45-yard line. Sewell in the shotgun. Shropshire to his left. Twin receivers to each side. They'll send Strickland in motion from right to left. High looping snap. Handoff to Shropshire. This time off the right side. Room to run past the 40 and down near the 30-yard line. Another Ohio Bronco first down.
Yeah, he gouged him on that one.
We had an injury timeout, but he'll make his way back to his feet. Robert Littlejohn having a rough day today.
Yeah, he's a little spent.
Official timeout.
He did not want to come out of the game.
Yeah, he got up and didn't
spit on it, rub some dirt on it, set him good.
All right, so we're back to action here. 1st and 10 at the Cleveland 30-yard line. So with Shropshire to his right, 3 receivers to the right now. As Lynn Townsend will be the single receiver to our side.
Counter.
Shropshire on the handoff, straight upfield, and brought down inside the 20, down at the 19-yard line with 7 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. And Broncos begin to eat up the clock.
Yep.
And a lot of opportunity for Cleveland going by the wayside.
Yeah, it's you're running out of time. So Charles Scott, that man is a big boy. And I watched on the sidelines in between when the Cobras had the ball and they were running a counter and they were pulling him. Well, let me tell you what, he pulled on that play and there was nobody that he found to hit. Everybody kind of bailed on that one.
Yeah. Charles Scott wearing 73.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit of a chunk there, man.
That would be the license plate that would be tattooed to you. That's Soul now, Shropshire to his right. Two receivers to each side. Handoff. Actually, Soul going to pull it, fire over the middle, and almost picked off. Oh. Went through the hands of the Cobra defender. I think that's going to be DeAndre Black, who had an opportunity at it. It was intended for Cornelius Strickland. But Black, it went right through his arms.
That's something that you say, I got this. How the heck did I miss that one? Wow, that was right in his hands. Great. Would have been a beautiful interception.
Might have had some room to run.
I think he would have, actually. But, I mean, even if he hits the deck and gets it, they get the ball back.
Ball at the 19-yard line, 2nd and 10 now for the Broncos. 6:06 left here, fourth quarter. Hand out to Shropshire, off the left side. Picorni had a shot at him and rides him down. Inbounds, clock will continue to run after a 2-yard pickup. 3rd down now for the Ohio Broncos.
Yeah, I'll just tell you, Jim, if I was the Broncos, I'm just going to run the pill. Just keep running it. Eat that clock.
Actually, they're going to mark the ball at the 17-yard line, so 3rd and 7 now. 3rd and 8. For the home team here, they'll gather up in the backfield for some last-minute adjustments. 5.5 minutes left as the clock continues to run. Back to pass is Soul. Plenty of time. Picorni from behind, putting on some pressure. Barrico trying to chase him down. And Soul tried as he might, ended up losing about a yard on the play. They'll mark the ball at the 20. And Marquello Soul extending the play, but the secondary of Cleveland doing a fantastic job.
I tell you, they've really done an outstanding job. They have done. I mean, they got blanket coverage out there. He's got nowhere to go with the ball.
We're actually going to say the ball is going to be at the 21-yard line now. So 4th and 12. See if they can have to go to the end zone on this one with 4:40 left. And the Broncos will take a timeout. 4:35 left here in the fourth quarter. Broncos with a 28-14 lead over the Cleveland Cobras. We'll step aside for a quick timeout. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Your home for PAFL football is the iMedia One Network. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
4:35 left here in the fourth quarter. Will Shropshire on for a 38-yard field goal. Broncos up by 2 touchdowns. Going to take a chance at this. Snap is back. Kick is up. And it is good. Wow, at 4:30 left in the fourth quarter, Shropshire hits the 38-yard field goal and gives the Broncos a 31-14 lead here late in the fourth quarter. I don't know, Coach. That's a pretty good kick.
All I know is the man can run the ball. He's a heck of a running back and kicker. How does that happen? See, he's not a true kicker. That's why. He's a running back that can kick. There's the difference.
Which means he is much higher on your ladder there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't consider him a kicker. I'll just say he does that part-time.
Shropshire did the kicking duties also for the Ohio Gladiators. Gladiators ended up winning a Tri-Point Football League championship under then head coach Chris Ballantyne.
We know all about them.
We are all tied. I'm telling you, it's a very small world. We're all tied in. So 31-14 is the score. Cobras with just 4.5 minutes left here in week 2 of the PAFL season. Still trying to find answers. And frustration, I'm sure, setting in for the coaching staff.
Well, and the other thing is I see a lot of guys that are not. Andy Coe's not there. Code's not there. Slap's not there. So there's people that aren't. They weren't there from the beginning of this season. There are injuries, whatever else has happened. So it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's just.
But we will say C.J. Hale doing a great job at quarterback today, stepping in.
Absolutely. But I think they're missing a lot of pieces. Nothing against that. Broncos, they've had an outstanding game.
Shropshire with the short kick. It'll take a bounce, head out to the 30-yard line. Picked up by Cleveland. And a bunch of flags coming out here. It's going to be a blindside block.
And it's going to be leading with the helmet. That could be an ejection. He hit him with the crown.
Brought out to the 43-yard line.
That's wrong.
I'm not going to say blocking the back on Cleveland. All right, so.
What? Wow.
No blindside blocks on that. 4:20 left here in the game. Ohio Broncos with a 31-14 lead. They just add 3 points on the 38-yard field goal by Will Shropshire.
Well, I don't know about that call. Whew. Hit him with the crown of his helmet right in the ear.
Cleveland will head to InfoCision Stadium next weekend on the campus of Akron University.
I kind of can't wait for that. That's big-time stadium. I enjoy going to them. You know, we did the playoff games a few years ago with Canfield and South Range. That was fun, being up at Tom Benson Stadium and being around that. You know, it's like you want to say, well, we got to that point anyway. We're still unknown, but we got to that point.
That will be the Rapids' first home game in the PAFL. Had an opportunity to see what they got going on up there, doing a good job. Talk quite often with the Straw brothers who do the play-by-play for the Rapids. Back to passes. Hale fires down the sideline, looking for a receiver and looking for Matt Wise, but the ball sailed out of bounds into the Cobra sideline. So 2nd and 10 now for Cleveland, 4:13 left.
Yeah, that just, if that would have been in bounds, it probably looked like it would have been picked. So that's a good thing that it went out of bounds.
So now you know what you have in C.J. Hale. We haven't seen him at quarterback this year, first time today.
I'll tell you what, he does a nice job. I think that he needs some more work, but I'll tell you, he could take over.
Cobras set up 2-by-2. Johnson in the back. Hale under pressure, and he's going to throw this past a lineman, and it's going to be incomplete, and that's going to be intentional grounding coming up against C.J. Hale with 4:05 left here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think they'll get a little intentional grounding on that one. There was nobody around but a big body.
They're actually going to mark it at the point where he threw the ball.
Yeah, it's just.
So they'll mark it at the 8-yard line. 4:05 left in the game. Hope you're able to join us last Thursday and Friday as we had the Valley All-Star games for football and baseball. Mahoning takes the football version. Trumbull took the baseball version. Of course, we heard Mark Means and Matt Marr with the play-by-play. Dave Ferris pushing all the buttons, making it look good. Hale in the shotgun, back to pass, fires over the middle. Oh. And it's going to be short arm intended for T.J. Johnson. I'll bring up 4th down.
May I say, Dave loves pushing buttons.
He does.
He does. He knows pushing them buttons.
He's an expert.
He is.
So 4th down now for Cleveland. 4:02 left in the game, and Jeff Cooper Ryder making his way out. See if maybe they can make something happen on the punt. So a mass change here as the punt team will come on. Cooper Ryder will set up about halfway through his own end zone. I believe that's a 5 o'clock kickoff next week in Akron as well.
Oh, that's good. I
believe
like them
so,
a little bit early. See, I'm a churchgoer, and I like getting a little bit more sleep.
And there's nobody who needs church more than you.
Oh, my Lord.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow. Hey, all I know is I have the 4-legged alarm clocks between Honey and Mocha Joe, my little mini weenie. She gets us up at 6:30 on the clock. Never get any sleep.
So Cooper Ryder, actually he'll be about 8 yards deep into the end zone. Wait for the snap. Good snap. He'll get away with this one, an end-over-end short kick. It'll take a roll out of bounds near the 32-yard line. We'll see where they're going to mark it, but 3:56 left here in the game. Broncos will get the ball back. Cobras trail 31-14.
Well, let's see if Coach is going to be conservative here. The game is over.
Got to see some old friends and faces from around the league. Talked to Jimmy Dean Melton today from the Broncos. Of course, we always we were trying to get over on the Cobras side of the field. They have a press box over there, but no power.
Yeah,
that's just our luck.
That's all right. We had to hike it over here. No big deal. We do what we got to do.
Well, bringing you video all year long here for the PAFL. Well, but as said many times, we are the faces made for radio. Skalecki now in at quarterback with the handoff. Maybe a loss of one on the play for the Broncos. Will run this one off the left side.
I just have a question. I haven't seen him for a while. We just talked to him on our way up after the break. How old is he?
That is yet to be determined.
He's one of them oldest rookies you ever saw in your life.
One of life's mysteries. We just don't know. He has found the fountain of middle age and run with it, literally.
And I tell you what, you talk to him, he's excited. He just wants to be out there. I give him that.
He's at quarterback now. One running back to each side. Twin receivers to the far side. So not his preferred position, but he'll hand this one off. He'll drive this one down to the 25-yard line. He'll make it to 24. Clock running, 2:56 left here in the game.
He reminds me of an old Indiana Pacer that came from Ohio State, Granville Waiters. Granny, they called him. He come out of college, and we got a player down.
All right, so one of the Ohio Broncos are down. 2:52 left here in the game. Keep it right here for the last few moments that we may have. Of course, over on Western Reserve Radio 2, an outstanding game there as the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids gets the 30-23 win over the Youngstown Patricians. And what was a back-and-forth game, Patricians starting out with a 20-0 lead. Only able to add a field goal in the second half. Patricians dropped their first game of the season. They head to 1-1. Rapids 2-0. And here, the Ohio Broncos, despite the loss last week, will be recognized by the league as being 2-0 because of the forfeit. Cobras falling to 0-2, looking for some answers here as they head to InfoCision Stadium next week to take on the Rapids for a second time this year. They're in their division. So handoff off the left side. Nowhere to go. Shropshire will try to fight through 3 or 4 Cobras. Clock will continue to run with 2:25 left. course, Coach, before you know it, we will be headed to high school football.
I'm excited this year. I can't wait to see what goes on.
I think we're excited every year.
Yeah, but this
it's like
is
Christmas. It's brand new every year.
They're starting to balance themselves out. I do believe that. Springfield was up for all those years. They were a little bit down a little bit, so I expect them to be a little bit better. And they're starting to balance themselves. And see what happens there.
The Broncos now 2 receivers to the far side. Back to pass, stepping up in the pocket, room to run. He'll tuck the ball out past the 20, 15-10, inside the 10 and down at the 8-yard line. Wow, they're actually going to give him the 6. I thought he went out before that, but nonetheless, first and goal now for the Ohio Broncos with 1:40 left in the game.
It's a first down. Take 4 knees, be done with it. Let that clock run. Come on, guys.
90 seconds left here in this game.
Yeah. Coach is calling. He's saying victory. I don't blame him. No reason to score. Spin it. There we go.
Galecki will come in to do the honors. But of all the things we saw today, great job by the COBRAS secondary.
Yeah, outstanding. They did a good job.
And also, C.J. Hale coming in at quarterback. Saw that young man throw a couple of touchdowns and saw some arm strength. Maybe got to work a little bit on the timing patterns, but maybe the COBRAS have found somebody in him.
Yeah, and then he missed a few deep ones to the outside. So, I mean, that'll come. He's got to get more playing time, do what he's got to do, so.
Galecki taking the knee, and
there it is.
Should round it out here for week 2 of the PAFL. The Ohio Broncos, they will go on to get the 31-14 win over the Cleveland Cobras. We're going to step aside for a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll get you a scoring recap, and we will wrap this one up from St. Thomas Aquinas High School here in Stark County. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. We're back right after this.
Are you enjoying our station? Well, now you can take us along on your mobile device wherever you go.
Wow!
The free Live 365 app is available for both Apple and Android devices.
That sounds like fun. I'll give it a try.
Just go to the Apple app or Google Play Store and download it today.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem Sports Talk is on the iMedia One Network, Youngstown, Ohio.
Back here one last time as we wrap up week 2 of the PAFL here. The Ohio Broncos get the 31-14 win over the Cleveland Cobras. How did we get there? It would start out in the first quarter with 4:02 left. And it would be Perrine on a 20-yard touchdown reception for Marquello Sewell to give the Broncos a 7-0 lead. And with 10:01 left in the second quarter, it would be Lynn Townsend. He would take he would get a 15-yard touchdown pass from Sewell, Sewell's second touchdown of the day. With 7:25 left in the second quarter, D'Angelo Thompson would get the Cobras on the board finally with a 25-yard pass from C.J. Hale. Hale coming in relief of James Cooney. And with 4:59 left in the second quarter, just before the half, Perrine would get into the end zone on another 20-yard touchdown pass from Sewell. Third quarter action. It would be Raekwon Vincent getting into the end zone on a 3-yard touchdown run. That came with 8:22 left in the third quarter. And then in the third quarter also, 6:47 left. It'd be Tyree Knight coming back on the pass. Snag that one out of the air from C.J. Hale. And he would go 53 yards for the Cobra touchdown. And then finally, Will Shropshire would cap this one off with 4:30 left in the fourth quarter on a 38-yard field goal, giving the Ohio Broncos the 31-14 win. Cleveland will be back in action next week as they'll have the rematch with the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids. That game will be at InfoCision Stadium on the campus of Akron University. Stay tuned to all of our social media for a pregame and kickoff time there. I believe it's going to be 5 o'clock. However, we want to confirm that for you. And by all means, if you get a chance, come out and see the game. Great presentation there up at InfoCision Stadium as they put a lot of work in there for the Rapids. And for the Cobras, they would love nothing more than to come in and ruin the Rapids' first home game in the PAFL. Some adjustments to make this week, but again, Coach, if you want to take some positives, you talked about the secondary, but one thing I really did like was C.J. Hale. You didn't know what you had in him. We hadn't seen him yet this year.
Yeah.
Comes in here, throws 2 touchdown passes, and a little bit of work here. I think they may have found something.
Yeah, and again, I'm going to go back to, again, no excuse. You got to play the game. You got to play it on the field. But Cleveland did have guys that have not, their veterans are not here and hurt. But the guys needed to step up, and they did a great job. Adjustments were made. It's just that I believe that the offense and defensive line of the Broncos were just better today.
Certainly that is the case here. Again, some positives to take away from here, but that does not alleviate the concern that the Cobras now 0-2 going in to week 3. And for Adam Rogerson, still some work to do here. And, of course, some frustration for everybody there as they know they have a lot of talent over there just putting it together. But today we did see a lot of penalty yards for the Cleveland Cobras, and that
hurts.
They're really in no position to be able to overcome that.
No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to take things off you offense or defensively. You got to get everything you could possibly get. Again, they'll bandage it up, and I'm sure that they'll put pieces what they got to do and get it done. But it's a long season, and I'm sure that the coaching staff will make adjustments and do a better job. But again, defensively, they made the adjustments. They did a great job, defensive backs. But again, it all comes down to line play, and I believe that always as a line coach. If you got a good line, that you could do just about anything, and the Broncos proved it today.
Yeah, certainly an advantage there for them. They recover after their loss to the Cleveland Rams last week. So for the coach, Bob Gessler, for Will Craven, for Matt Craven, I'm Jim Craven. Thanks for joining us here on Western Reserve Radio for PAFL Football Week 2 here. We look forward to seeing you again next week, Week 3 from InfoCision Stadium in Akron. Your score one last time, the Ohio Broncos 31, the Cleveland Cobras 14. Take us home, Mr. Producer.
Good night, everybody.
We thank you for joining us for this special presentation of Western Reserve Radio. And we now return to our regularly scheduled programming.